Welcome to How About New.
Considered to be acceptable just because a
We're
state
gonna
or
finish up
city has
this.
declared itself.
We're gonna finish up this hearing with Pam Bondi at the DOJ. I call it the hearing of tongues, because no one doesn't seem like too much truth's coming out in this. It just seems like a lot of deflection.
A sanctuary. I want you to opine on just one thing that I think has been misunderstood. As I said earlier, you create and maintain those judges that adjudicate these cases. You also support so many that, in fact, have to make decisions as judges. Knowing that this limitation of so few Article III judges are there, please educate those who seem to miss the point that Article I judges, including bankruptcy judges, including immigration judges, including lots of people with the title appropriately judge, do in fact issue documents that look like, act like, and are normally accepted as warrants, as subpoenas, as demands for state officials to stand aside and allow the production of either an individual or documents. Because I think people are missing the point that these ICE retainers and detainers and so on, they act like they're nothing when in fact in the ordinary course, Madam General, you do in fact have Article I judges constantly putting those out, and they are respected normally.
Thank you, Congressman, for talking about all the great judges. And if I could add one thing to that, we are always recruiting and looking for judges. So please reach out to our office for these judges who are handling all these very important matters. We've even added some JAG officers as immigration judges.
Thank you.
And so we're
So
continuing.
Are they short on judges? I've seen a lot of judges that were getting arrested for doing a lot of messed up stuff recently.
To do that.
There's been a lot of people getting arrested in the last year. Our jails, they're probably so overcrowded. It's probably insane.
But we're always seeking
They're already
qualified lawyers
overcrowded,
as
weren't
well to be part of that. And thank you for highlighting that, Congressman.
Thank you. I yield back.
They just built a bunch of prisons and jails and
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Attorney General Bondi, right here. We are joined in this room by some of the thousands of survivors from Jeffrey Epstein's horrific
actual data centers that keep all the information here instead of doing twisted shit with everybody's stuff.
In speaking out, in demanding accountability.
This lady,
to bring the predator.
Miss Jawapal. Is that her name? Miss Jawapal?
Chairman, good morning, Attorney General Bondi, right here. We argue, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Right here.
Back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from Washington is recognized.
Who is she?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Attorney General Bondi, right here. We are joined in this room by some of the thousands of survivors from Jeffrey Epstein's horrific sex trafficking ring. They have shown such...
Miss Jawapal. I don't know who any of these people are, so... Jawapal? Jawapal. Promelia? That's a unique name, isn't it? Promelia? That's super unique. You know what I just noticed? This is funny. Someone's really manipulating how the systems work right now, because Here's my Google. And if I search someone, Jawapa. Jawapa. You can't go into AI mode no more. Why is that? Where's AI mode? There it is. But it's not here, is it? Isn't that crazy? You can bypass that, can't you? Boom. You guys think you're smart. You're not fucking smarter than me. Nobody. I thought that they were gonna fucking try to blackwall it. Here. They changed it though. They're making it harder for you guys to use this shit. Because this is access to what the truth is. This is the proof of the truth. Without this, there's no proof of the truth. And they're so dumb. Why don't they just work together? Work together. It's gonna get nasty. Doesn't matter how deep you go under the ground either. Not this time. It'll get nasty. Anyways, I just want to see who this is. Because I like to keep it neutral here. I don't like to cast any personal judgment on anybody. Especially with the way everything is happening. There's a lot of people confused and lost in the world right now. And I feel for them. U.S. Representative Pramila Jawapal, Democrat. I guess from Washington, right? Is that what that is? The ranking member of the Subcommittee on Immigration, Integrity, Security, and Enforcement is currently at the center of a major blah, 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 blah. I don't care about all that. That's what we're watching. Who is she? Who is she? Let's just say who is she? I want to get a little bit of who is she? Who is she? Who is she? It seems like she's like, I don't know. Let's just keep going with it. She's a Democrat. Let's just put it that way.
Courage.
She's from the
in
D
speaking
side.
out,
What's the
in
blue side?
demanding accountability to
That's the
bring
left,
the
right?
predators and pedophiles to justice.
Always want to cause division.
The Epstein Files
Left,
Transparency
right,
Act
and
required
then they put a
your
bunch of
Department of Justice
subcategories
to
within
disclose
those
the
categories,
perpetrators
so it makes
connected with
absolutely no
Epstein's criminal
sense. And then they got
activities
everybody
and
fighting
to
over
redact
one
the information of
category to
survivors
represent,
to
even though
protect their
none of the
identities.
categories
Let me
even
show
make any
you
sense.
What actually happened. First,
Nothing here makes
in
any
violation of
sense.
the law, your department has shown a pattern
That's the problem.
of
And they've
redacting
made
the
it that way.
names of
They've made it so
powerful
hard to
predators.
live.
Here
They've
behind
turned
me
living
is
into
one example
surviving.
of an email from Epstein to a man whose name was redacted.
And I don't know
The
what they're
email
doing.
reads, quote, "Where are you? Are you okay?
We'll just watch the video
I
and we'll
loved
react as we
the
go.
torture video."
I'm more here to react to what the information is coming out and then seeing like how it's held accountable and stuff like that. That's what our reaction is. And that's why I look people up, and I also like just see if they do have some, maybe they did some nitpicking, you never know. Because all I see and hear online and stuff like that is, well, the Democrats are always after Republicans are always after the Democrats, and it's like a war within a country that's supposed to be unified, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, Jesus. Jesus Christ. We got some fun facts about Jesus.
Only after members of Congress demanded that we see the unredacted files did the world learn the name of this individual, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayman,
That's
the
a hell of a
chairman
name.
and CEO.
Sultan bin Salom. She can't even say it properly. So what is this? Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. I mean, that
Of a
doesn't...
company that had financial
It's just
ties
one email,
to
right?
President Trump's business
I am in China.
and
I will
personal
be in the
ties to
U.S.
Trump's advisor,
second
Steve
week
Bannon.
of May.
Second, the
What year is this?
survivors
Oh,
were
no.
not
This is a long
similarly
time ago.
protected, also in violation of the law.
16
Here
years
is
ago?
another email titled Epstein Victim List. We have blurred the names of the survivors for their protection, but your Department of Justice initially released this list of 32 survivors' names with only one name redacted, along with numerous files that disclose not only the names, the emails, and the addresses of survivors, but also nude photographs.
What? Nudes.
Titled Epstein Victim List. We have blurred the names of the
You know, way back
survivors
in
for
the
their
way day.
protection, but your Department of Justice initially released this list of 32 survivors' names with only one name redacted, along with numerous files that disclose not only the names, the emails, and the addresses of survivors, but also nude photographs and even the identities of Jane Does who had been protected for decades until your department.
One of the other guys pointed out that, as you can see, this list here, there's 3-4 things up top that are been blurted out. And then there's the one thing in the middle. It looks like number, what is that, 12, 13? That's number 12. Blurted out. Number 12 was blurted out, and it's so blurry. The quality of this video sucks. I feel bad for anybody who has bad eyesight that
Released
watches this, because this is super blurry, and I'm on a pretty good monitor. You know, it looks pretty good nice, but this is super blurry. So, with that being said,
their names.
yeah. What I'm saying is this is kind of weird.
Survivors are now telling us that their families are finding out for the first time that they were trapped.
She said that this was a lawyer. Is that what she said? I saw a video where
and the addresses of survivors, but also
Who got blurted
name
out?
redacted, along with survivors'
With
files
only one name
that
redacted.
also been survivors are now told by Epstein. In
This right here proves that an AI algorithmic system did the censoring on this, just because of the fact this name was tied into whatever was inputted into the algorithm system to do the censoring. It's all linked. PC people, PC tech guys know how this stuff works. They could break it down and explain the math behind it. But yeah, let's carry on. Definitely done by AI algorithm.
their words,
That's a fact.
quote,
If this happened, it's because someone didn't manually look at this and be like, "Oh my gosh." Nobody looked at this. A machine looked at this and picked up keywords out of this particular name and blurted it out. Same with this, same with this, same with this, same with this. You're not going to figure out anything until you're like, hey, we want to see the programming coding on those 4 computers that did we don't even know what computer did it, but something, whatever is tied into their system to use to look on the 4 computers, it was 4, right? Whatever they had. Scary.
this release does not provide closure. It feels like a deliberate attempt to intimidate survivors punish those who came forward, and reinforce the same culture of secrecy that allowed Epstein's crimes to continue for decades. To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand. And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice. Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
They got the camera focused on her face so indefinitely, don't they?
Release of the Epstein
She
files
looks
and
mortified,
their acceptable release through.
She looks absolutely
to the
scared.
survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now
I don't mean to
and
laugh.
apologize for what your
It's just
Department of Justice
weird how they
has
fixated
put
the
them
camera
through
on her.
with the
Like you can tell that she
absolutely
wants
unacceptable release
a real answer.
of the Epstein
Let's
files
see
and
what
their
Pam
information.
says. I don't know much about Pam Bondi. I seen a couple of her speeches when Trump was running for president. I didn't really have an opinion on her back then.
You sat before, Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General
Twice.
Bondi.
Who's Merrick Garland?
Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General
Twice.
Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
No. I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked
The
you a
Attorney General, yes,
specific
sir.
question
Attorney General
that
can
I would
respond to your
like
question.
you to.
Who's Merrick Garland? I have no idea who Merrick Garland is. I'll pull this over here. Alright. We search in front of you guys so I'm not showing that I'm manipulating anything or anything like that. We keep it honest and truthful. Merrick Garland. That name sounds familiar. Merrick Garland. Okay. They spelt it wrong here, and then they made me spell it wrong here. Look at that. Lawyer and former United States Attorney General Merrick Garland, blah, blah, blah. He's 1952. He's been a Democrat. Okay. I don't trust Wiki. Wiki's stupid. Wiki's not accurate. It's got a whole lot of outdated information in it. In reality, all of it's outdated. We know, though. Anyways, let's go over here to AI mode and see who he is. Merrick Garland is an American lawyer and a former judge who served as his 86th United States Attorney General from March 2001 until January 20th, 2025. Following his tenure in the Biden administration, he returned to private practices as a partner of the law firm Arnold & Porter in May 2025. Attorney General, nominated by President Joe Biden to restore the independence of the Department of Justice. That was to restore the independence of them. What does that mean? There's something wrong with it? The independence? His tenure was marked by the massive investigation into the January 6th Capitol attack. The appointed special blah, blah, blah. So he did this. I don't really have an opinion based on the January 6th thing. All I did was basically say, I don't think Trump personally started this, I would say. If he did, it was super coordinated. I don't really think... I mean, because if he really wanted to keep power, he would have just opened up an investigation to the Epstein files, right? If it's this bad. I mean, the dude died while he was president. He got arrested. He was obviously being... they were looking for him when Trump was in office, right? That's when he got arrested and committed suicide, supposedly. When I say supposedly, I mean... well, he committed suicide, right? That's what this is. How did Epstein die? You look it up. How did Epstein die? How did Epstein die? Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide, yeah. August 10th, 2009, while awaiting trial on federal section things. Charges at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, blah, 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 blah. God, he was old. He looked old. He looked like shit. He looked like a complete mess. He was old. He was a master manipulator of the mind. He spoke in tongues. The only problem is he never came. Well, you can't have the right message. You can't find that message. You can't manipulate it to find that message. Anyways, we don't need to look into all this. But yeah, he committed suicide in 2019, summer of, right? Trump was in it. That was his last year, right? And then, 2020, they said the...
Attorney General
Guys,
Bondi.
no, can
I'm
I
gonna
finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you
Attorney
a
General-
Wait a second, let me
specific
back this
Merrick
up.
Garland.
So she's like Merrick
that I
Garland.
would
Respond to your
like
question.
you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility.
He used to be a federal judge, this Merrick Garland guy that they're talking about. The guy that was basically, was he running the DOJ during Biden's? See, the thing is back in the day, and this has only been like probably, I would say, 15, 20 years. Back in the day, nobody had access to really watch this stuff, and if you did, you watched it on the television. And before that, it was just he said, she said, right? And then whatever was told on the radio. That's reality in itself. So as time evolved, they were like, wow, people like politics. Let's turn it into a fiasco show. Makes you wonder what all happened before you could actually watch it, you know?
For your Department of Justice
Like the skulls
and
at
the harm
Benjamin
that it has done
Franklin's
to the
house.
survivors who are standing right
OG.
behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't
It is
like the
my time.
answer.
She gets to answer it the way she likes to. What's the whole point of this? What's the point of a hearing?
My answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked
the
you a
Attorney General, yes,
specific
sir.
question
The Attorney General
that
can
I would
respond to your
like
question.
you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking
See, and that's the thing. She's in charge now, right?
responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness get to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't
It is
like the
my
answer.
time.
So,
Mr. Chairman.
There's people talking in the background. Do you guys hear it?
Why?
I have asked
Didn't
a
she ask
question.
Merrick Garland this?
I am
Twice, when
reclaiming
he
my
sat in
time,
my
and when
chair.
I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
it is
Mr. Chairman, the
my
gentlelady has
time.
I'm
reclaimed her
not going to
time.
get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The gutter? What's that mean? She's not gonna get in the gutter? Like a house? She's not gonna get in the gutter.
Sir. So,
Mr. Chairman.
why?
I have asked
Didn't
a
she ask
question.
Merrick Garland this?
I
Twice,
am
when
reclaiming
he
my
sat in my
time, and when
chair.
I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
it is
Mr. Chairman, the
my
gentlelady has
time.
reclaimed.
Why does it matter if she asks Merrick Garland or not? Did this ever come about during...
I'm not going to get in the gutter for.
The thing is you could literally argue, the whole question should be, why wasn't this investigated during Trump's original presidency? That's the only question that needs to be asked. And then on top of it, you need to ask yourself, hey, Biden took over next and still didn't get investigated. That's two whole presidents. And now Trump's back. Still didn't get investigated. So now 3 presidents. 10 years almost. And this has just been... And they were bringing up an email that went 2009? 2009. That's 16 years ago. 17 years ago? Yeah. $17 years. Because that's when he originally got arrested. Was in, what, 09, 08, 09, something like that. I'm wondering why he got arrested for that shit in 09, 08. And then I don't know the details of that case. I looked at it. I'm not going to get into that. Like, I do know the details. I just don't want to talk about it because it's insane what his what he was reprimanded with, considering his actions. It's intolerable. Dude didn't even do a whole year in lockup for it. Imagine being the average citizen and you do something heinous like that. You know, I had one of my buddies when I was a carpenter. He stepped off the roof that we were doing, and he went to go use the bathroom. Just, go step behind the bushes. Unfortunately, someone looked out the window and saw him, and he had to go do time and register, and it changed his entire life. Like, it really messed his life up because of that. Just because he had to pee. He didn't do anything wrong, he just had to take a leak, But yeah.
Her theatrics.
My buddy, that happened to him. He still worked with us. Like, it didn't change his life to that extent, but like, to have to be humiliated like that in court. And then I don't think they even talked really about what's his face's stuff. I don't know. I was in the military when Epstein was being dealt with back then.
The time belongs to the
Those are the Marines.
gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you. You're
That
not going
was
to
an
answer this
experience as
question,
well.
so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll
this.
direct it to
What a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a
Joke.
question.
Will you restore her time? The witness is interrupted.
Ain't
I'm
like
not
it
going to
used
with
to
this
be.
woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing theatrics.
and let me have my time.
The gentlelady from Washington controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final
Thank you.
17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be.
I literally just said all that. I didn't say it was a cover-up, but what I'm saying is it literally, no one's been dealing with it, so what does that mean? What's a cover-up? Cover-up, somebody covering up information. That's literally what's been going on.
Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign.
And they're
because he
like, we
thought
can
it
go
would
back to
benefit
this
him.
point.
Then
You could
got
literally
into
go back
office,
to
Attorney
Bush
General,
Senior, to
claimed
be
to have a
honest
client
with
list,
you. This
only
shit
to
started
say
in
that
the
there was
80s.
no list.
Just like
Your
cryptocurrency
deputy,
started,
Blanche
it was an
met
idea in
alone
81,
with
and then it
Ghislaine
came into
Maxwell
fruition in
and
83 around the same
to a
time that
minimum
Epstein just
security
popped
prison.
into the
And now
mainstream
you
in the
continue
80s.
The
the
time of the
cover-up.
gentlelady
And
he was
I
already
wish
charged
that you would
with
turn
stuff at
around
the
to the
time.
survivors who are standing right behind you, and on a human
But
level,
no,
Chairman,
he still got
You're now
to
recognized
co-sign
as
for
the
people to
chairman.
get
What you have done.
citizenships and all kinds of
Time of
stupid
the
I
shit.
gentlelady
yield back.
expired. The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatrics.
We appreciate the thought.
back.
You're now
Apologizing.
recognized as
Standing right behind you. And I
has
wish secure you Epstein filed this has
15 seconds. You can proceed with your file. Washington.
Or with this woman.
Stop the
I'm
cover-up.
answering a question.
let me have
You can.
be Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only
Regular
to
order.
then say,
She did though. What did he say? Regular order?
and you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only
Regular
to
order.
then say that there was no list. Your deputy,
time
Todd
of
Blanche,
the-
met alone
time of the
with
gentlelady
Elaine
has- the
Maxwell
time of the
and
gentlelady has
transferred her
expired.
to a minimum security prison. And now you continue
the
the
time of the
cover-up. And
gentlelady
I
has
wish
expired.
that you would turn around.
You see how the she said continue the cover up, but the lyrics down below continue the conversation.
To the survivors who are standing right
And you know what's
behind
funny? This has been out for a while, and this is the official AP thing, I guess, whatever that is. Associated Press, is that what it is? Yes, Associated Press. The thing is, it just shows how dumb AI is at retranslating humans, like, and how insufficient it is.
you. And on a human
Just another
level,
example.
Chairman,
You're now
apologizing
recognized as the chairman.
on what you have
Unprofessional.
done.
Time of the
I
gentlelady
yield
expired.
back.
The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatrics.
We appreciate the thought. And I would argue the central issue in the last election, the presidential election, was securing the border. The gentleman from Arizona who knows something about securing the border is up for 5 minutes.
Hey, thank you.
The gentleman.
Wait, what did
Yeah,
he
what
say?
What you have done.
Time of the
I
gentlelady
yield
expired.
back.
The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatrics.
We appreciate the thought.
That's a issue.
And I would
in
argue the
itself.
central issue in the last election, the presidential election, was securing the border. The
That's
gentleman from
something that
Arizona
needs to
who
be
knows something about
discussed, but
securing the
that's
border is
something.
up
That's something that needs a lot of work. The whole, not the border, but just how that whole system works.
for 5 minutes.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
insane.
And thank you, Attorney General
Like
Bondi, for
how
being here today.
We're all
In 2022, Lafarge, which is a French cement company, pled guilty in U.S. federal court to participating in a criminal conspiracy with ISIS. That conspiracy contributed to the deaths of U.S. service members fighting in Syria during Operation Inherent Resolve. As part of the plea agreement, Lafarge was required to pay more than $775 million to DOJ's Asset Forfeiture Fund. In February 2025, my colleagues and I sent you a letter urging the department to review the petitions for remission submitted by the families of those fallen service members, including several of my constituents. The previous administration ignored these victims and our requests and left their petitions unresolved. My question for you on this particular issue is if you're willing to work to ensure those families that their petitions will be reviewed and brought to a resolution.
Congressman, we are aware of that and we're committed.
Who is this guy? Mr. Biggs. I'm not gonna look up who they are anymore.
And I would argue the central thing about
Being here today, guilty. That conspiracy contributed to the deaths of U.S. service members fighting in Syria during Operation Inherent Resolve. As part of the plea agreement, Lafarge was required to pay more than $775 million. My colleagues and I sent you a letter to those fallen service members.
This has nothing to do with the. Why is he bringing this up? I thought this was about Epstein.
Including several of my constituents. The previous administration
Was this originally supposed to be specifically for Epstein? Why do people try to keep switching the goalpost to a different topic?
ignored these
Or a
victims and our
different
requests
issue.
and left their petitions unresolved. My question for you on this particular issue is if you're willing to work to ensure those families that their petitions will be removed.
And it doesn't seem like something he even, like, why is he reading this? This isn't something he actually cares about. There's no way.
In 2022,
'Cause if he was, he wouldn't have to
Lafarge, which is
read
a French
something.
cement company, pled guilty in U.S. federal court to participating in a criminal conspiracy.
He's just reading something in front of him. That's all he's doing. He's reading something that was written in front of him. Because if you notice, this lady,
Stop the
She's
time
doing theatrics.
and let me
she's
have my
looking
person.
down at
Click
stuff, but
off,
just
Chairman.
to
To answer it.
stay on her
The
topic
harm
point.
that it has done
See,
for
she's
you
making
to
direct
turn
eye
to the
contact.
I have doing
And then
my
you go
resume.
back to this guy.
Service members fighting in Syria.
He's literally just reading a script. And it has nothing to do with what the hearing's
to the
even
deaths
about.
of U.S. service
Who is
members.
this guy? Let me look him up real quick. Because he's irrelevant at this point. Anybody can do what he's doing right now. He's literally reading something off of a piece of paper. Mr. Biggs. He brought up somebody. He brought up the wrong person. Let's see what his, what is he? Congress? Congress. Mr. Big. Congress. Is he Congress? That's him. Yeah. So what is he? Is he Republican, Democrat? What is he? I don't know. I don't know. It's not telling me. It's weird. Is he nobody? Is he looking like a man? Who is he? A senator? Mr. Big U.S. Okay, I found him. He's just, I'll show you guys. He just said, it just not much information on him. It just says he's a American politician and lawyer. So what is he doing here? U.S. Representative for Arizona. So let's go to read more. It's not giving us AI for this one, is it? It's not even giving us too much info. It's just, here, I'll go over here. Mr. Biggs. Who's Mr. Biggs? Or Mr. Big, most commonly, blah, blah, blah. Why is there no information regarding this guy? Why does it keep bringing up this guy? What did it say it was over here? The last four. He's congressman. That's him, right? I don't look like him. I don't look anything like him. Does it?
Fighting in Syria during Operation Inherent Resolve. As part of the plea agreement, Lafarge was required to pay more than $775 million into DOJ's asset forfeiture fund. In February 2025, my colleagues and I sent you a letter urging the department to review the petitions for remission submitted by the families of those fallen service members, including several of my constituents. The previous administration ignored these victims and our requests and left their petitions unresolved. My question for you on this particular issue is if you're willing to work to ensure those families that their petitions will be reviewed and brought to a resolution.
Congressman, we are aware of that, and we're committed to doing everything we can to support the victims and work with you. Thank you for that question.
The whole
Yeah,
world's
appreciate your
like,
answer. And now let's go to something that is also pressing that I've been working on for years,
Like,
and this
not
is
the
the
world,
FISA
like,
Section
in that
702
aspect, it's like-
and Arctic frost.
no, like so much has been covered up for so long.
January
like,
2020
everybody's just, they don't know how to react to it, and it sucks.
25, you testified before the U.S. Senate.
I will be right back. Literally, what this guy's saying, no disrespect to him, but he's literally just sitting here reading a piece of paper in front of him. So, and it has nothing to do with, it sounds like, with what the whole thing is supposed to be about.
and I would argue the central issue in the last election, the presidential election, was securing the border. The gentleman from Arizona who knows something about securing the border is up for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. In 2022, Lafarge, which is a French cement company, pled guilty in U.S. federal court to participating in a criminal conspiracy with ISIS. That conspiracy contributed to the deaths of U.S. service members fighting in Syria during Operation Inherent Resolve. As part of the plea agreement, Lafarge was required to pay more than $775 million to DOJ's asset forfeiture fund. In February 2025, my colleagues and I sent you a letter urging the department to review the petitions for remission submitted by the families of those fallen service members, including several of my constituents. The previous administration ignored these victims and our requests and left their petitions unresolved. My question for you on this particular issue is if you're willing to work to ensure those families that their petitions will be reviewed and brought to a resolution.
Congressman, we are aware of that, and we're committed to doing everything we can to support the victims and work with you. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, I appreciate your answer. And now let's go to something that is also pressing that I've been working on for years, and this is the FISA Section 702 and Arctic frost. In January 2025, you testified before the U.S. Senate and agreed with Senator Lee that, quote, anytime an American citizen's private communications are intercepted or stored, whether through incidental collection or otherwise, those communications should not be searched without some showing of probable cause, close quote. You still hold that view today, I assume?
Yes.
And during the most recent FISA reauthorization, I offered an amendment to establish a clear warrant requirement for searches of Americans' data while preserving every publicly cited operational exception, including emergencies, defensive queries, cybersecurity threats. And my intent was to ensure the Department of Justice could continue to keep Americans safe while also ending warrantless searches of U.S. persons' data. Are there any additional circumstances or exceptions that you believe must be included to ensure DOJ can continue to operate effectively while still protecting American citizens' data and privacy?
Yeah, Congressman, we are committed to...
Wait, what is he saying?
During
Seconds, you can proceed with your final
Thank you.
17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only
Regular
to
order.
then say that there was no list. Your deputy, Todd Blanche, met alone with Elaine Maxwell
time of the
and
gentlelady has
transferred her
expired.
to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the
time of the
cover-up.
gentlelady
And I
has
wish
expired.
that you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level
Chairman,
apologize
Chair now recognizes the
on
chairman.
what you have done.
Time of the
I
gentlelady
yield
expired.
back.
The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatrics.
We appreciate that. We appreciate the thought. And I would argue the central issue in the last election, the presidential election, was securing the border. The gentleman from Arizona who knows something about securing the border is up for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. In 2022, Lafarge, which is a French cement company, pled guilty in U.S. federal court to participating in a criminal conspiracy with ISIS. That conspiracy contributed to the deaths of U.S. service members fighting in Syria during Operation Inherent Resolve. As part of the plea agreement, Lafarge was required to pay more than $775 million to DOJ's asset forfeiture fund. In February 2025, my colleagues and I sent you a letter urging the department to review the petitions for remission submitted by the families of those fallen service members, including several of my constituents. The previous administration ignored these victims and our requests and left their petitions unresolved. My question for you on this particular issue is if you're willing to work to ensure those families that their petitions will be reviewed and brought to a resolution.
That was a lot to read out.
Congressman, we are aware of that, and we're committed to doing everything
I feel like
we can
anyone
to
could have
support the
brought that
victims
to her.
and
Like,
work
he
with
could have
you.
mailed that
Thank
to
you
her.
for that question.
Yeah, I appreciate your answer. And now let's go to something that is also pressing that I've been working on for years, and this is the FISA Section 702 and Arctic frost. In January 2025, you testified before the U.S. Senate and
The Arctic frost.
agreed with Senator Lee that, quote, anytime an American citizen's private communications are intercepted or stored, whether through incidental collection or otherwise, those communications should not be searched without some showing of probable cause, close quote. You still hold that view today, I assume?
Yes.
And
Yes.
During the most recent FISA reauthorization, I offered an
Damn, she affirmative. Yes.
amendment to establish a clear warrant requirement for searches of Americans' data while preserving every publicly cited operational exception, including emergencies, defensive queries, cybersecurity threats. And my intent was to ensure the Department of Justice could continue to keep Americans safe while also ending warrantless searches of U.S. persons' data. Are there any additional circumstances or exceptions that you believe must be included to ensure DOJ can continue to operate effectively while still protecting American citizens' data and privacy?
Yeah, Congressman, we are committed to working with Congress to uncover weaponization and other
U.S. persons' data. Are there any additional
Also, ending warrantless searches of U.S. persons' data. I'll tell everybody right now, majority of all of our data is sitting in other countries overseas. And that's fact. Because the cloud that we're on, we only have 4 facilities here in the United States. That's the thing. I can show you guys this. This is all this stuff I'm looking up. This is public access. Cloud storage. Cloud storage. How many facilities? Some stupid images. Hundreds to thousands. Right? Hundreds to thousands. And this is the thing. How many are in the United States? Data centers. It wasn't like this 6 months ago. Google Cloud owns and operates roughly 130 large-scale campuses globally as of late 2025, with major operational sites in 15 U.S. states. This is such a lie. They have changed this. I have video proof that they've changed this too. This is such a lie. And I have it on multiple things, so it doesn't really matter. And people have seen it and people know, so it doesn't really matter what they change it to now. Regardless, it doesn't matter what it is. London has 523 facilities. Paris, France, 322. Amsterdam, 298. America's got 4. And that's a fact. Unless they built that many since Trump took office. Because when he first took office last year, that's when I did the research. Because they were talking about integrating cloud into everything, basically. Because 90% of all federal government buildings are operated through AI algorithmic systems. That's how they cut the budget on the spending for people that work for government buildings. They replaced it with AI algorithm. And as we can clearly see, it's not very beneficial because it's wrong. It's not as good as a human doing it. Now, is it? It can't outperform a human subconscious now, can it? It can't replace a soul, can it? Can it? You're letting an AI system that's preloaded do judging. That's crazy. Judgment. Anywho. They just keep updating this too, the search stuff.
Threats.
Someone's literally manipulating him with it. And then what's really funny is the head guy at fucking Cloud. He's in the files too. He's in the redacted files that are public access. The guy that runs Google Cloud. The #1 guy there. He's in this list. Or not the list. He's in the files. I don't know what he's in the files for, but he is in the files. I didn't actually look through the files because I don't want to see any of that sick shit. It'll just enrage me if I see it, and I don't like being part of chaos. I can't. It's not a very good omen with me. It doesn't sit well in my stomach. My stomach was like... But yeah, it's some pretty sick shit that was in there.
And my intent
Just from what AI told me based on it. AI told me there was some sick shit in there. Because I asked it to talk to me in a better moral of understanding. And then it was like, well, if you look at it in this aspect, it's pretty bad. I'm like, really? Okay. And then I asked it, what do you mean? How bad is it? I only had to ask it like 6 fucking questions. Pardon the swearing. Sorry if that offends everyone. Doesn't mean to. I'm just using the language. But it was sickening. What some of the stuff I saw, and then I just asked it. I said, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And it did it. It was working really well, and literally, it's gotten worse. I literally have footage of how good the algorithm system was and how much of it shit it is now. Like, it's insane. Like, why is it degrading and getting worse? What's that mean?
to ensure the Department of Justice could continue to keep their need for Jacobs data.
There's Arctic frost, everything. Congressman, we are committed to working with Congress to uncover weaponization and other misconduct.
I don't know what they're talking about
by
regarding
Joe
Arctic
Smith, by
frost.
others, Arctic frost, everything that happened under the past administration.
Antarctica.
And we are committed to working with you on that. And we are
Pangea.
working with Chairman Jordan, with the House
That's
Intel,
Pangea.
with all of our, my fellow cabinet members
That's what they
on
called it
resolving
in the
that
maps,
issue.
anyway.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you brought up Arctic
Classic
frost.
Pangea.
Because Section 702 was used in the Arctic frost
like it,
investigation.
don't it?
Was.
And information derived was used by Special Counsel Jack Smith. And my question has always been, and no one's been able to answer this, is what was
And
the
they're
legal
like,
predicate for
well,
using
the
a
continent split
foreign
apart.
intelligence
I will tell you right now, they did not split apart. And I have proof that they didn't.
authority in the Arctic frost investigation? Have you
That's funny.
been able to
Continents don't move.
ascertain any legal predicate?
Congressman, what I can tell you today is that has
Well, I
been
guess they do.
referred
We've been
to
watching them
my
for what,
office.
100
I can't
years?
discuss anything regarding that
60
because
years?
it is very active and ongoing.
And you probably can't answer this one either, but I really want to know if Section
Continental
702
drift.
queries related to that matter involved members of Congress, which we know on some level it did.
That's called
congressional staff, which we
unstableness.
know at
That's
some
not
level did.
continental
We've
drift.
heard
That
that
means the
journalists or
planet's
other U.S.
unstable.
persons not suspecting of acting as foreign
It's
agents
not
were
supposed
also
to
caught
behave
up in
that
that.
way.
Can you answer that question?
That's
and say,
because there's been layers upon layers upon layers of sediment and layers of recycles.
whether queries
They're not from meteor impacts either.
did cover all those groups I just identified?
What do you think? What do you guys think an ice age is? What do you guys think nuclear winter is? Go compare the two.
This adorable AI companion puppy is quickly becoming the most popular Christmas gift of 2025. It provides real companion.
It is a very
Go research nuclear winter and then go research the ice age. That's simple.
active
And I'll tell you right now, the ice age didn't take place after the dinosaurs. That's asinine.
pending investigation within my office. However, I believe many members of Congress have stated that their phones were
I mean, there was multiple of them. There was multiple ice ages.
part of
But they're not
Arctic
ice
frost.
ages because of
We are well aware
warming
that,
of the
and
planet of any
we
of
are
that
taking this
crap.
very seriously, and this is a very active investigation. And I would keep going and say, if any member of the Democrat Party, if any of them, if that had happened to them, we would take that just as serious as we do. And they should be jumping up and down, screaming, supporting you and what you want
About
to do.
what?
Because this should be a bipartisan issue.
Well, I hope it is a bipartisan issue. I'll just leave with these last couple of questions.
It didn't say what side of government he was representation of, unless, well, does it? It just says, it didn't give any info regarding him, you know? No, not really. I mean, it talks about his career, but it doesn't really. I'm guessing he's. I don't know. It doesn't say. Is he Republican? Is he R or D? Is he R or D? It doesn't know what I'm talking about. Is this Andy Biggs? Is this who this is? Is that why I'm having issues? Like, because searching him, yeah, Andy Biggs. He's a Republican. Member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Here's his info. It kept bringing up this other guy. It was Mr. Biggs. But anyways, yes. His current role is the 5th Congressional District and served since 2017. He is a leader candidate for the governor of Arizona. Okay.
Which I'm sure following
So
this,
he's
same
Republican.
investigation privilege.
And
But that's
I'm
this.
guessing
How many
Pam
such queries
Bondi's
were actually
Republican.
conducted
She shouldn't.
overall?
The
This
thing
outside
is to me, and we'll get at
Frost
this at the
in
end
the
of the
prior
video,
year
maybe,
by the FBI.
depending on how this goes. But I'll just say it now. The thing is, when your representation, regardless of what party you're representing, when you get actual control, I don't want to even call it control because it shouldn't be called that. When you're representing the country as a whole, there is no more sides. It's one side. You represent both sides and they're supposed to be there to back you up, to back our nation up. No, instead it's turned into turmoil to the point where it's a fiasco. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Nothing ever gets accomplished. Nothing ever gets proceeded with. All it is bickering and fighting all the time, and it's just nonsense. It's chaotic.
We really need to know what were this legal standards applied? Did they use probable cause? Did they use reasonable articulable suspicion?
Like, I've seen a lot
Or
of
did
these
they have
kinds
no
of
individualized
hearings
suspicion and
with
just were gathering
Congress
up
and senators.
information?
I've seen a lot of them.
And that's
And
beyond
they just,
the investigation with Arctic Frost.
they don't seem like there's any,
I
like,
don't expect you to have that
real
information
purpose to
today,
them
but
other
if you
than to,
can,
like, cause
help
drama.
get
It's
that
like a drama
information so we
TV
can
show.
understand the extensive
But
nature of
people
this
don't realize
continued
that this is real life, and half the shit they talk about, none of you guys even understand any of this stuff.
misuse of 702. It would be very particularly helpful.
Because they
And
use
it
code
was
names and
extensive.
stuff
Yes,
like this.
Congressman. Thank you.
Time of the gentleman
They don't
has
talk
expired.
like normal
UC,
people.
Mr. Chairman.
They talk like robots.
And
Bah,
that
bah,
is the
bah,
gentleman
bah.
from Texas.
And then when someone does talk normal, there's no answer.
I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record. El Paso airspace reopened after FAA quickly rescinds 10-day flights restriction. This was published by the Texas Tribune on February 11th, 2026, and it says it was because of an impasse with the DOD over the use of unmanned
objection, without
military
objection.
aircraft
Without
and not
objection.
triggered by Mexican cartel drones.
Without objection.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. I didn't hear back about the second round of questions. I assume that's not happening. I just want to be able to assure the members, certainly on my side, if not both sides,
That's not a point of order.
no, that every
question
member
you had.
will get 5 minutes with the witness. Will there be 5 minutes for each?
Yeah, you get 5 minutes. Yeah.
With the witness. Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. Okay. And are you up next? Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Scribe makes step-by-step guides for any process with AI. You know what's terrifying at work?
Mr. Chairman, I want to begin by acknowledging the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's horrific abuse who are in the room with us today.
I'm not sleeping.
I
I'm
want to
just
thank all of
cozy.
you
I'm
for your
like
bravery
chill.
in speaking out. I want to say
Just
that you
taking in
and the
the
other survivors
information.
of these heinous crimes deserve better from this Department of Justice. In particular, it is shocking that the department did not redact the names of
Mr.
Epstein's victims,
Nadler.
but
I'll
it
look
did
them up
redact
over
the
here real
names
quick.
of their
I'm just
abusers.
searching their names.
I don't know
and
whether
if it
this
doesn't
was
pop
done out
up,
of incompetence
the information I want
or
to see
whether it
out,
was deliberate and malicious.
ask it to give me what I
Either
want.
way, it is completely unacceptable. Even more troubling, the DOJ has failed to bring any of these perpetrators to justice. Instead, it has
Mr.
engaged in
Gary
a relentless
Nadler.
pursuit
Here he
of
is.
Donald Trump's
He's a lawyer.
perceived enemies.
Oops, sorry. Mr. Nads. Mr. Nadler. Who is congressman for the Upper Side in New York City? Read more. I hate how it takes you to Wiki. Wiki is so unuseful. It really is. Mr. Nadler. What's his name? Google, your algorithm changed, didn't it? Yeah. Now, since September 2000, he's retiring. Successor support. On February 9th, he officially endorsed his former aide, Micah Lasher, to succeed him. So what does this mean? He gets to pick who succeeds him? I don't agree with that. He shouldn't get to pick. You know what I mean? Because if he does have ill intentions, then it would pass through the next person that succeeds. That's the problem now. That's the problem we have. That there's succeeders, just like there used to be kings passed on to, but that was in a different time. And the way they structured it was way different. They tried to structure it the way the gods were living, and it didn't work. Because they didn't actually live that way, and they weren't one. That's the thing. That's the thing. The unity and the Trinity. A veteran politician. Liberal lion, that's what he is. He's a liberal. I'm not 1,000% what a liberal is. What's a liberal? What's a liberal? Liberal. I accidentally put a B. A liberal is someone who generally believes that the government should take an action role in solving social problems and ensuring equality. That's it. That's what a liberal is. So basically, a liberal is someone who just cares about free speech, right? And ensuring equality. Social problems and ensuring equality. So they care about free speech. Liberals, right? Why does free speech go against thou shalt not speak in tongues? It literally contradicts it. Does anyone understand what thou shalt not speak in tongues means? It means to speak in nonsense. Only spoke when it's important. When it's factual. When it provides truth. That's what thou shalt not speak in tongues represents. I don't think anybody understands what that means. So, in being so which, how can you have a nation where freedom of speech contradicts God's command? How does that make any sense? And you say this is God's country? It's not even structured after God's word. At least not the word that was written. Because was that God's word? Or was that man's word that was twisted? Like we're seeing. But it contradicts itself. It really does. The one contradicts the other. Let's get into
I want to
this.
focus on just one example. The Attorney General of my home
That's
state
what a
of New
liberal
York,
is, though.
Tish James.
It's freedom of
This
speech.
DOJ has been hell-bent on securing an indictment against Ms. James.
Making sure
for some-
everybody's allowed to
anything,
speak
simply because she
the
held Donald
way
Trump's
that
companies accountable.
basically everyone's allowed to say what they want without being offended, basically. That's what freedom of speech is. You're allowed to say whatever you want and you can't put your feelings like. What is freedom of speech? Because I just don't.
For years of financial fraud. And indeed, the department manufactured an
Can't run a
investigation
country that
against them
doesn't
for
have a
alleged,
backbone.
quote,
That's the
mortgage
problem.
fraud.
You
The
can't
U.S.
just
attorney
pull a
leading the
Bible out of your ass and be like, yeah, we're
Eric
going to do
Siebert, the
this.
Trump appointee, refused to bring charges against Ms.
Bible
James
means basic
because there was
instructions
simply
before
no
leaving
evidence. Unfortunately, a prosecutor who refused
I got
to
the
do
advanced
Trump's bidding
instructions.
has no place in this DOJ, so Mr. Siebert was forced out.
Come on
Trump
the
could not
journey and
contain his
learn 'em.
fury that he expressed to you in a social media post.
It's so
addressed
crazy
to you
how
by name. I'm
right
sure
there
you've
the
seen it.
basic instructions are there.
I fired him, and there is a great case he wrote to you about, Mr. Siebert. Then we moved down. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over reputation and credibility. They impeached.
What's in your hand? In your hand.
I fired him, and there is a great case he wrote to you about, Mr. Siebert. Then we moved down. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times. It's killing our reputation. I'm sure you've
Sorry, I
theory that
got
Siebert
distracted
to do
for a
Trump's
second.
bidding. No
I was
evidence.
thinking of some things.
Unfortunately, charges against Ms. James because there was simply no evidence. Unfortunately, a prosecutor who refuses
My
to
brain
do
never
Trump's
shuts
bidding
off.
has no place in this
just in
DOJ,
tune.
so Mr. Siebert
one-
was forced out. Trump could not contain his fury that he expressed to you in a social media post addressed to you by name. I'm sure you've seen it. Quote, I fired him and there is a great case he wrote to you about Mr. Siebert. Then we moved down. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeach me.
I have reviewed over 30 statements. Is he just reading what is here?
Twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. And obviously, you followed that order.
Is he literally giving out orders over X? Or whatever that is? What is that? Is that X? Is that what y'all call it? X, Twitter? I got into an argument with him a long time ago on Twitter. You guys blocked my account second day I had it. It was right before he got banned. He got banned too. Me and him both got banned. I said something on his, I don't remember what he was talking about. It was something political, but what I mentioned had nothing to do with the political stuff. It had to do something with just, I don't know. It was a question regarding his character. I don't remember the question exactly. Like I said, I got kicked off Twitter for it, so I was like, whatever.
Lindsey Halligan, Trump's former defense lawyer who had never prosecuted a case
I
in
don't
her
use
life,
social media
was installed
things.
to replace Mr. Siebert, and it was clear that part of
Shit's
her mandate
stupid.
was to go after Ms. James. Halligan immediately sought an indictment, which the court dismissed because Halligan was illegally put into the role. But
You guys are literally turning thoughts into scriptures. Like, what the hell? Conversations, meaningless conversations written into scriptures. Not only do you speak in tongues, you write in tongues.
the department was undeterred. Not
But if you were in tune, you wouldn't have to speak at all. That's the thing.
once, but twice, he tried to indict Attorney General James in separate courts.
No
Both
one's in
grand juries
tune with one
rejected you
another.
and refused to indict her.
Some are,
It is practically unheard of for
Some
a grand
have
jury
it.
to refuse
Some-
an indictment.
but you gotta have all
2016,
three.
It happened in just 6 cases out of over
It's not just-
150,000 offenses.
It's the unity, man.
And you had it happen twice in the same week.
The
in 2
unification
different
of the
courts.
Trinity,
That
and
must have been
nobody
humiliating.
understands that.
And now there are reports you are continuing to investigate.
They're all just
The
chasing
amount of
some
resources that have gone into
relic.
targeting Attorney General James, months of investigations, multiple failed indictments, is astounding. Since your own prosecutors told you that there is not enough evidence to support a conviction,
Drink from that
it's clear that you were going after her simply because she held President Trump
Like-
accountable, and he wanted
I was watching the Holy Grail Money Python earlier. It was funny.
wants to punish her.
Pretty funny.
And she is
Mocking.
just one name on a long list of Trump political enemies that DOJ is reportedly targeting. From Jerome Powell and Lisa Cook at the Federal Reserve to James Comey, numerous Democratic members of Congress, John Brennan, Jack Smith, Democratic officials in Minnesota, Chris Krebs, Miles Taylors, and more. And those are just the ones we know about. In contrast to these politically motivated investigations, grasping at something they can charge their enemies with, we now have concrete evidence of disgusting criminality revealed in the Epstein files. So I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
So basically,
I have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
this is a pretty basic question. How many people are being held accountable How many people are being investigated? Are there any actually going to be indicted and, have a hearing kind of like this one and have to ask for stuff that's in the files that these people have seen? It's a pretty straightforward question. It should be answered with a number. Well, there's this many.
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many
What the hell? Wait a second.
have you indicted?
Excuse me.
First, and then she fumbles over her words.
How many perpetrators are you
What do you mean
even
first? First what? Who's that?
investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have
Why is she fumbling over her words so bad? Is she really this incompetent about her? Is she not incompetent, but is she really this unsure of herself that she can't speak properly?
First, you showed it. I find it.
how many have you indicted?
Excuse me.
Giddy,
I'm
giddy,
going
giddy,
to
giddy,
answer
giddy.
the question.
I answered.
And then she shows aggression. That's domestic violence right there.
First.
She
You
literally
showed it.
lashed
I
out at
find it.
How
him.
many
Look
have
at
you
that. Watch.
indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
I answer
Raises
my-
her voice, lashes out. In a normal case scenario, that's considered domestic violence.
question.
No, I'm going to answer.
You know how many people get arrested at their house just for having an argument and they kind of act like that? It happens. It's a reality. It really does happen. Especially after the women's rights laws were established, it happened a lot. It was. I mean, I don't.
Answer the question
How-
the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're gonna answer
theatrics
the-
are.
Your theatrics. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep track of this because first, what do you mean theatrics? What is it? What are the theatrics? What are his theatrics? I'm confused by her saying that. I just don't like the way she started talking. Like it's.
You showed it. I find it. First, you showed it. I find it.
How many
What
have
is she, a yodeler?
First, you showed it. I find it.
how many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
I answer my question.
She's so used to having authority, she doesn't know how to, give it up.
No, I'm going to answer the question
How-
the way I want to answer
She's so used to getting things her way she
the
can't.
question.
No,
Your
you're gonna answer the
theatrics are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman
How many have
Jordan.
you-
She said your theatrics. The other person she was in the gutter with. Let's write gut. Let's write the. It's two different. Gutta. Gutta.
I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people,
How many
but
of
I'm
you-
going to answer
Oh,
the
there-
question.
How many of
She
you
said the
indicted?
gutter again. We'll just put a little tally mark right there. Wow.
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time belongs.
I think it's very
Claiming
interesting.
my
You guys
time.
don't
I think it's
understand
very
how I write.
interesting.
You can
that
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
I don't.
about they
Reclaim my
indicted.
time, Mr.
The
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted him
clock.
twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and-
Just like they
Okay,
want
here we
the-
go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
I see
The
they
time
updated
belongs
the
to the
notepad.
gentleman from
Back
New
the clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you
Reclaiming
ask
my-
a question, the
The
witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets
The
to answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
Que-
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's.
Has it anything been answered yet?
The time
I
belongs.
think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my
I
time.
think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting
time.
And you can
that
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted.
Mr.
The
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and.
So she said.
They
Reclaiming my time,
indicted.
Mr.
The
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman,
Indicted who twice? Who did they
please
indict
stop the
twice?
clock and
Did.
stop the
He
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
Theatrics again. Gosh.
Time belongs.
Who taught her how to talk? Like, who's her speech coach?
Time and
Gentleman
back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when
Reclaiming
you ask
my-
a question, The witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So
my-
he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
My time.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
You can let her filibuster? What did he say?
Stop the clock and restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The
Reclaiming
time
my
belongs
time
to the
and
gentleman
roll back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when
Reclaiming
you
my-
ask a question,
I mean, it's a simple question. It requires answering it with a number, 2 separate numbers. A number to the first one, a number to the second one. What's so hard about that? Why all the chaos? Why all these... And she's talking about being theatrical. She is the one being theatrical and causing chaos. This is legion. It's the definition of legion, chaos.
the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets
The
to answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming...
The answer is honest. It's not even an answer. It's a deflection to a totally different thing that, one, the hearing's not about, and two, I mean, it's a number. The answer is a number. She literally gave one number. She said first. So I guess she said there's only one.
First,
There's only one guy. That's not what it means. It means I'm about to start off and go off in left field.
first, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. Answer the
It's so
question. I
annoying.
think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my
I
time.
think it's very
Chaos is
interesting.
annoying. Oh my gosh, does it make my head hurt.
And you can
When
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted,
Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock and
did.
stop the
He
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time
Reclaiming my
belongs
time
to the
and roll
gentleman
back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you
Reclaiming
ask
my-
a question, the
The
witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets
The
to answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming-
So he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds.
It's
I
really
am
not a
going to
4-minute
stop.
question. What it was is he stated something, and then he just asked a simple question regarding, hey, we saw some stuff in here. Do you guys plan on holding anyone accountable? He didn't even really mention anybody's name, did he? He didn't even mention Trump. He just said, hey, is anyone going to get held accountable?
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day
It's...
long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way. And I
Reclaiming-
told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me
Yeah, oh, I
anything.
did tell you because we
Washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I said.
You tell me.
Our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me
Yeah, oh, I
anything.
did tell you because we
Washed
saw
up.
what
I gotta step away for a sec because it's... I don't know who that guy is, but man, we saw what you did to the Senate. I don't know what happened with the Senate, but that's crazy. Let me know down below if you know what they're talking about regarding in the Senate. I gotta go use the bathroom real quick. Hey, give me something to drink. You know the one thing that made me upset about religion? The way it was written? You tried to void out that these guys were around. You guys tried to delete this. And then games. He even had lies about, well, we're gonna bring him back. When? No, I'm just playing.
Told you about that,
No, but
Attorney General.
that was a lie. They're worried about the permafrost. Or whatever they said. What is that what they said? The permafrost? They're taking so many pictures of her. Look at all the people in front of her. Just there's gonna be so much footage of her online today. I mean, not today, but after all this stuff. This happened a few days ago. It's just it's taking me a while to get through with that, guys.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, oh, I did tell you because.
Oh, I did tell you. He's just trying to get a simple answer, you know? It's that simple. Like, why do you have to speak in tongues and cause chaos? While I'm stepped away using the bathroom, I'll rewind it for you guys.
Committee will be in order.
I went first. You showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer the
theatrics are
question the way
ridiculous.
I asked it.
Chairman
How many have you
Jordan, I'm not
indicted?
going to get in the gutter with these people,
How many
but
have you-
I'm going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time belongs.
I think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting.
time.
You can
When
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted,
Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted him
clock.
twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock and
did.
stop the
He
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time
Reclaiming my
belongs to
time
the
and roll
gentleman
back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you
Reclaiming
ask
my-
a question, the
The
witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets
The
to answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
Que-
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So
my-
he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I
Mr.
am
Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
I mean,
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way. And I
Reclaiming-
told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me
Yeah, oh, I did
anything,
tell you because we
washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I
Not a
said that
few, I should
already.
take 45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler. Go.
All
Reclaiming
right.
my time. The answer to my question, how many of Epstein's co-conspirators has she indicted, is 0. You have been the Attorney General for a whole year, and your DOJ fired the lead prosecutor of this case, sat on evidence this entire time, and claimed falsely last July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files, and when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman
None
has
of the perpetrators have
expired.
been brought to justice, but enormous resources
Time
have
of
been
the
dedicated to
gentleman has
pursuing Trump's
expired,
enemies.
and
It's
obviously
clear
there
that
was-
under your leadership, the Department of Justice
There
no
was
longer
no
works
question
with
in
Americans.
Before you start, please, Mr. Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day.
Time.
Because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So he don't like
You may not give you a few more seconds. We will.
I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're gonna answer the
theatrics are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman
How many have you
Jordan, I'm
indicted?
not going to get in the gutter with these people,
How many
but
have you-
I'm going to answer the question.
How many of you indicted?
She said the
Again,
gutter
the time
and the
belongs to
Reclaiming my
theatrics.
time.
The time belongs.
I think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting.
time.
You can
When
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my time,
indicted,
Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and stop the
he
clock and
indicted-
restore his
oh,
time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time
Reclaiming my
belongs to
time
the
and roll
gentleman
back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you
Reclaiming
ask
my-
a question, The witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming-
So he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
I mean,
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way. And I,
Why isn't there somebody neutral running this? Why isn't there somebody that represents both? Like a main guy that runs this?
told you about that,
Because
Attorney
it
General,
doesn't-
before you
You
started.
don't
I don't
tell
know.
me
Yeah, oh, I did
anything.
tell you.
It doesn't
I
seem like
saw
there's
what
any
you did in the
order.
Senate.
You're a lawyer.
You know?
You're not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Like, she shouldn't be allowed to lash out at people. That's disrespectful. She told somebody that he's not even a lawyer. Like, I don't know who he is. Maybe he isn't.
Get back at least 45 seconds.
We will give you a few more seconds. I
Not a
said that
few more,
already.
45 seconds.
Okay, I'm timing right now, Mr. Nadler. Go.
All
Reclaiming
right.
my time. The answer to my question, how many of Epstein's
Why is he shaking his head laughing? Why does he think this is funny?
conspirators has she indicted?
I mean, it's funny because nothing's getting solved. We're an hour
is
in
zero.
to this
You
hearing,
have been the
and
Attorney
absolutely
General for a whole
nothing
year.
has
Your
got
DOJ fired the lead
addressed,
prosecutor
it
of
seems
this
like,
case,
other than irrelevant
sat on
stuff that
evidence this
shouldn't have
entire
been
time,
presented.
and claimed falsely last July that there were no more leads. It took an act of Congress for you to finally release part of the Epstein files, and when you did, you included personal information about the victims while protecting the names of abusers.
Time of the gentleman
None
has
of the perpetrators have
expired.
been brought to justice, but enormous resources
Time of the
dedicated
gentleman
to
has
pursuing Trump's
expired, and
It's
obviously
clear
there
that
was-
under your leadership, the Department of Justice
there was
no longer
no
works for
question
American
in there.
people. It works
Order
for
respond
Donald
to.
Trump. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.
May I answer?
I think our next questioner, Madam Attorney General, is going to give you time to respond to
Thank you, Chairman.
all kinds of things. So we will turn to the gentleman from Texas for 5
What is
minutes.
that?
Ms. Bondi, you go right ahead. I'm over here. The time is yours.
Thank you. First,
Did somebody just give up their
brought
spot?
up
Is this
the
real?
president saying they indicted me twice. They sure did. They tried to impeach him twice, and you, Mr. Nadler, were one of the leads on the impeachment. I was on the other side. I lived that with you. During impeachment, you said the president conspired, sought foreign interference in the 2016 election. Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016.
What does this have to do with anything that's happening in 2026? This is 10 years ago. And the fact, if you want to bring up 2016, what about 2019 when Epstein was actually arrested? And then he was unalived. This should have been addressed then.
You apologized to President Trump?
Trump was the one that was supposed to deal with this originally. Because it was his DOJ that arrested Epstein. So obviously his DOJ was investigating it. So if his DOJ was investigating it, why was his name in it so much? That doesn't make any sense.
You apologize to President
They said his name was in it
Trump.
so
All of
much.
you
It was like over a
participated in
million
those
times.
impeachment hearings against Donald
Which
Trump.
makes no
You
sense.
all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president. And
There's one or two things happening with this list, okay? Either Epstein's still alive and they're trying to cover up because he was some false messiah. And then I heard that something in the list said something about, I don't know, I don't want to say anything that I heard unless I actually have proof that I can show you guys. But I heard a lot of messed up things that were in this list. And if they're true, only God can help at this point.
I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents.
Yeah, and it seems like we do a better job as civilians investigating stuff in a quicker manner than our own DOJ does. So what does that explain? We get more done. Just a couple individuals. I mean,
For 3 million, and Donald Trump signed that law.
the only thing our government is proving to us, it seems like, in 2026, is that the people don't really need them to make decisions. It's starting to seem that way because we can actually make our own decisions and we actually hold people accountable because that's what we want. We want to be what we represent, what we've been told, lied to.
To release all of those documents.
And the bad thing is, and I hate to say this is how everybody feels. Because of where it's at, and I hate to say this, we want it to be that way, and unfortunately it has to stay that way because of the way it was built. But all this stuff needs to come out. People need to know the truth, not just about this, everything. It's everything within every nation on the planet. Everybody needs to know the truth. The true self sets you free. Free from that void that you all are scared of. You guys are scared of that fucking void.
He is the most transparent
That's a place to
president
rest. You
in
don't stay
the
there.
nation's history. And none of them,
There's-
none of them.
There's people
asked
sleep so
Merrick
long in the
Garland
void.
over the last 4 years.
The
one
void exists
word
because of the Big
about
Bang.
Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
I'm not going to show any financial stuff regarding our country, but I don't want to hear any lies regarding this, like regarding what is up, because it's not up.
You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now.
It's the whole reason that they want Greenland.
The S&P
I haven't
at
heard
almost
anything regarding Greenland, has
7,000.
anybody?
And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's
Retirement's like basically the age that you die. That they have written into contextual form for you to believe that, well, the average life is this. But if you go back and look at the average life compared to, like, I don't know, the only reference we really have is the Bible, isn't it? Exactly. And when you take that into consideration, guess what? Something happened after the flood. And then humans became a decline. Humans declined. Anybody ever ask why? So dramatically. Or anybody ever ask, like, why certain things are called, like, I don't know, the Dark Ages? It was dark because they chose to keep it
what
hidden.
we should be talking
That's
about.
why it's called the Dark
We should be
Ages.
talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking
And it's not because of any mystical stuff that anybody's thinking. It's because of what took place that could never, because it didn't fit in that timeline. It was a timeline that had a steady curve like this, and then all of a sudden, it got life to it, just like at a hospital when they're watching your heartbeat. Your heart.
Now, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked.
What does the Dow have to do with the Epstein hearing? This is an Epstein hearing, correct?
Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan,
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas, Miss Bondi.
Did he literally give his time to her? He
Attorney General can
doesn't. That's what is it?
Thank you. The Dow has shattered.
So she gets 5 minutes to basically preach. I'm not listening to this. Sorry, this has nothing to do with what... She's not even answering what, like, what the other people said and holding herself accountable. Like, you're just bringing up stuff that people can go look up themselves.
I'm going to continue. Thank you, Chairman.
And I would just yield.
She thinks this is a joke. Why she thinks it's funny?
I'm fine to
Gentleman from California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Why would anybody find any of this funny?
I'm fine to continue. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. But I want to start by asking that out of respect for the American public and the Epstein survivors, some of whom, of course, are here today, that we can have a transparent conversation and get the public the answers they deserve. I want to briefly direct your attention to two documents I'm hoping we will put up on the screen. In the first, an individual emails Jeffrey Epstein asking whether a woman identified as M was pro or civilian, and Epstein responds that she was a civilian, Russian, and fun. In the second email, Epstein writes to Steve Tisch about a...
You know, I don't think Pam wants to talk about any of this stuff because she doesn't know anything that's in the damn files herself. And she's supposed to represent it. Did she go through it? Like, you would think that since this is about to be a hearing and this is going to take place with this type of credential shit coming out, you would think, being in charge of all of this, being the one that released it, saying that it was on your desk for an entire year, basically, and all she ever kept saying was, I have yet to go through it. I have yet to go through it. I yet to go. Did you ever go through it? Did you even look at the first page?
Ukrainian girl.
This is the problem. These people act like they have some career. And the thing is the new technology that's being used, they don't know how to use it.
That she was, quote, a little freaked out.
She had other people doing it. Who are these people? Who are the agents that signed off on the actual reports from the last 4 administrations?
By the age difference,
or 3 administrations.
Try to convince her not to return to Ukraine.
Because this started in 2019.
Adding, I don't like records.
This is 7 years old.
So I'd like to ask a straightforward question.
7-year-old case.
A yes or no answer. Do these emails constitute credible evidence, not proof, but credible evidence warning further investigation into whether Steve Tisch was involved in Epstein's criminal conduct? Do you think yes or no?
I'm not going to play a yes-no game with you, but I will answer the question to the best of...
A yes-no game? I'm not going to play a yes-no game with you? Yes means yes, no means no. For that is the word. It's written everywhere.
I'm not going to play a yes-no game with you, but I will answer the question to the best of my ability. As I said, we will look and investigate any case involving any victim.
It's right here.
I'm not familiar. There were 3 million pages, of course, with that email. But of course, we will look into anything. The documents have been released, 3 million, the redacted version.
And she doesn't know any regarding them. Like, what is these books in front of her for? Because she obviously didn't take notes.
We left them open for all of you to come view. Have you? I believe you view them. If not, will you have some copies?
I'd like to.
But could I finish, please?
Jesus Christ! You just asked her a damn question.
Redacted versions. We left them open for all of you to come view. Have you? I believe you view them. If not, will you have some copies?
I'd like to.
But could I finish, please? I'm not being rude.
Yes, that like you're kind of rude.
5 minutes.
No, yeah, and I only have 30 seconds based on your filibuster.
But you didn't.
Time.
Filibuster. She just asked you a yes or no question, and you're...
Give a yes or no answer. So let me just go further. Director Patel testified in this committee room that there was no credible information indicating that Epstein trafficked victims to anyone else. In glancing at the documents, that proves that's not the case. In July, your department issued a memo stating that
And did you guys see how 3i Atlas was we'll talk
conducted
about
an
that on
exhaustive
another thing.
review of the Epstein files and concluded that no additional
It's messing up
individuals would be
everybody's science
charged.
and math.
So I
It's
did
because
go
it's been
over
all
to
wrong.
The Department of Justice yesterday. I would note that 400 and all our
We know.
35 members are in the House, and there's 4 computers.
Just like no one
So,
ever learned how to harvest light.
It would take many months to actually have the time. I only had a few hours. I think the transparency argument is really kind of a sham because it's not really possible.
Whoa. Did you have to
It
wait
is-
to get a
It is not possible to,
hang on.
to really go, because it's not really. I think the transparency argument is really kind of a sham because it's not really possible.
Whoa. Did you have to wait to get a
It is not possible to,
hang on.
to really go in. I did, however, see a U.S. The argument is really kind of a sham because it's not really possible.
Whoa. Did you have to wait to get
It
a
is not possible to,
hang on.
to really go in. I did, however, see a U.S. attorney information for the Southern District of New York indicating that there were additional survivors and probable co-conspirators. Other members of Congress have uncovered likely co-conspirators whose names were blocked out. Now, the Epstein File Transparency Act, which all but one member of this House voted for and the president signed, requires the department to release everything except that it needs to be redacted to protect the victims or an ongoing.
I think they have like 2 algorithm systems that they click on. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. This one's got this names in it, and this one's got this names in it. This is really primitive technology, people. Don't think this is smart. This is just... It's not hard to program this crap. I've been using this stuff forever. Since the 90s. Don't let them throw AI in front of it and make you think it's artificial intelligence. It's not.
Prosecution.
It's just super advanced algorithmic pre-program, mind you, to do what it does. It's pre-coded.
Apparently there is none from the testimony we have received. I am concerned that this act has not been fully complied
A
with.
physical
When
person
Director
has to
Patel came
actually
to the
search.
committee,
It's
he
no
admitted-
different than when you guys were searching in the thing. And then it would pull up what you wanted to look for. Now, if the system is set up, and I can show you guys how this is set up, anybody who's a streamer, anyone who's ever went live, anyone who's ever used Streamlabs, you literally put key points inside of your chat box so that if people say something obscure, or anything out of the normal context, it'll automatically ban itself. It won't show up so other people see it. It's simple stuff like that. It's that easy. So what they did is they typed in a bunch of names and hit cover up, or however it was linked to whoever made the little actual icon that does the multiplication based on all the systems. But the problem is, we'll get to that.
That up to 1,000 FBI agents had gone through the files and redacted President Trump's name from them. And it's pretty clear that what has been transmitted from the FBI continues to redact President Trump's name, even though he is mentioned, thousands of times in these files. So I think the credibility of the department in terms of complying with the act has been damaged. And I think the department's credibility has been damaged in other ways. I think we all saw the horrible video of American citizens being killed by ICE agents in Minneapolis. And I think how the department has
I
handled
saw Alex Pereri guy, is that his name? I saw it when it first happened.
these
It was
cases
horrific.
raises.
It was my personal opinion. It was an execution. They stood in a circle of a horseshoe and shot him. He got disarmed. Both clips were removed from him. I don't think one was actually in his gun. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know he was fully disarmed before happening. I saw it on the Valhalla channel.
a lot of doubt about the department.
He had a lot of
State and
different
local police
angles
can
regarding that situation, and you can literally combine all the angles and they all tie into each other. Like you could literally make like a matrix screen with it, like when he goes and see the Oracle or that bald-headed dude. That's the thing, everybody's living in the matrix, but it's not quite like that. It's not quite like that.
got a court order to get access to the crime scene to be sure.
After this
evidence
lady's done,
could be
I'm going to
properly
take a little
preserved
break.
by federal agents. But they took the agents defied the court
Just
order,
listening to
and,
this
in a
is exhausting.
departure from general policy, the DOJ
chaos
is
that
not
stems from it is
collaborating with
exhausting.
state and local law enforcement on these homicides. So I really think that is a disgraceful approach to the homicides of American citizens, and really does nothing to bring credit to your department. And Mr. Chairman, I would yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
May I answer?
Attorney General can respond.
I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history. And if they could...
What did she just say?
Does nothing to bring credit to your department. And Mr. Chairman, I would yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
May I answer?
Attorney General can respond.
I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history.
Greatest president in American history? In what aspect? That's a bold statement to make towards anyone.
Maintain their
How would she know? How long you been around, Pam? How would you know? Do you know American history all like that?
composure. This isn't a...
Because there sure as hell ain't been no peace anywhere. It's been nothing but chaos. You got people trying to fulfill stupid ancient prophecies that don't make any sense. You guys weren't ready for that third, were you? Because the story doesn't keep going, does it? Oh, that's because the story has to keep, you have to continue the story. That's why it's the basic instructions. It's time to move to the advance. Is everybody ready? Because pat yourselves on the back. You made it through the basics. Apparently, you're ready for the next step. Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Circus. This is a hearing. I find it interesting she keeps going after Donald Trump. She doesn't say how much money she took from Reid Hoffman, did you?
I don't know.
And nor did
Mr.
she
Chairman,
post
regular
anything.
order, please.
She
This is insane. Like, what is going on?
Regular order.
posted
Why is she just attacking
nothing on
this
her X
elderly
account,
lady?
on her Twitter account during the Biden.
And now you're gonna bring up Twitter. Oh my gosh. I'm just wondering if we're gonna get an. I literally have this, okay? This little notepad. That's basically is falling apart. So old. But I pulled out this notepad. Nothing even in this. But I pulled out this piece of paper, right? And I was gonna write down like the answers to whatever she was gonna use, and I was going to validate everything because I don't know, you know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows because she's She's avoiding the truth. And only the truth shall set you free. You gotta search inside yourself. And sadly, everybody's been taught wrong. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Does anybody want to go to the next level, or does everybody just want to keep resetting? That's the option, I guess, now. Do we, are you guys ready for the next step? Because guess what? That's the hell. Hell is the recycle. It really is. Nobody really understands what's really going on here. And I don't mean in this stupid hearing. I mean life. Everyone's about to find out real quick, though. Aren't you? You gotta be forced into seeing it. And there's no amount of weaponry that's gonna help you. Like, the shit that's being used is primitive. It's just what? I don't know. Cause destruction. What do you guys fight over? You guys don't even fight over land anymore. You guys have your lands. You like... Everything seemed like it was going a little copacetic, even though it was all a mask held by Legion, but it's always been a mask. Because nobody understood what the next step was. Instead, they've just been chasing what Noah's family lost. It wasn't a physical thing, I will tell you that.
Gentle lady.
Yeah, now all
Gentle lady.
Committee will
It's
be
not
in
very
order.
gentle in the room, is it?
Question
It's...
on Attorney General. She doesn't just get to...
Middle. Committee will be in order.
I have a point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Committee will be in order.
Point of order, Mr.
Gentle
Chairman.
lady can state her point of order.
When a witness attacks...
Not a valid point of order. You got to state.
She hasn't completed her point of order.
I feel like the guy running the show is corrupt.
Yeah, please let her speak, Mr. Chairman. Let's have some...
attacks.
Not a valid point of order. You got to state.
She hasn't completed her point of order yet. Please let her speak, Mr. Chairman. Let's have some regular order here.
Regular order is you got to state the rule. And she
I am trying to make a point of order that the witness,
And what
without,
rule are you referring to?
without responding to a question, has attacked me personally. I think it's pathetic that she can't answer the questions and
First
instead
time
is attacking
that is not even close
members
to a
of the
point of
committee.
order. The gentleman from Wisconsin.
This guy right here is a joke. He's been laughing and giggling the whole freaking time. He's not holding anybody accountable. He's not keeping order at all. Is that his job, is to keep order and make sure? Yeah, we looked it up last video. His job is to be unbiased and keep order. And make sure that people are held accountable and answer the questions accordingly. He hasn't done his job yet.
Recognize.
In August of last year, I sent a letter to the department.
And you can tell he wears a...
In August of last
And why is he sitting here with this chick just snickering and not paying attention?
year, I sent a letter to
Who
the
is she?
Department of Justice asking for assistance in seeking compensation for the town of Lac du Flambeau. Town of Lac du Flambeau is in my district, and your office replied that it was an ongoing matter and unable to comment on it, which I understand is just fine. I want to set this up just as a reminder. So 3 years ago, it was at this time of year that 4 roads were blockaded in the town of Lac du Flambeau, and the temperature was the unfortunate part in regard of Lac we're
familiar with that. We would more than welcome working with you, and we are.
She doesn't know anything he's talking about.
Nearly through it and has fixed it.
The way you see an
That
idea.
had nothing to do with the...
I want to move on to fraud enforcement. You've established a national fraud enforcement division, is that correct? Madam Attorney General?
Yes, Congressman.
Has this new division begun any investigations and getting after those individuals that have committed the rampant fraud we've seen, like in Minnesota?
Well, it's not only rampant in Minnesota, it's rampant throughout this country. Much of it is in California, as you know, and other places. Yes, we are working on it.
You know why? It's because this stupid cloud system is being controlled by everybody in this list. They're all the investors to this company. They're all the investors to our stock market.
Actively, our criminal
stock
fraud
market
division
holders.
has been working on it.
And they've been
We are
printing money and
expanding
recycling
that.
it
It was
all
the vice president's
their-
idea to come up
since
with
the
this
dawn
amazing
of
separate
time.
fraud division, which we are establishing.
Whoever plays the
and
stock
going
market's an
nonstop,
idiot.
not only
That's
to
why she
expose the
mentioned the
fraud in
stock market,
Minnesota,
because they all
but
play it.
around the
And you know
country.
what they
It's
do?
taxpayer
They use it
dollars
as a
that have
gambling
been
system for
stolen,
everyone else to do it.
from the American people.
You're
We're
never gonna
committed
get ahead
to
playing the stock
recovering that
market.
money and holding those
It's just-
people accountable.
Mr.
The whole
Chairman,
point
I
of
want to remind
currency
everyone
is
here,
stupid.
why did this happen in Minneapolis? Why did
I'll
federal
tell you that
law
right now.
enforcement have
It
to go
does
to
nothing but
Minneapolis?
cause
Because of
division and
industrial scale
chaos.
fraud. It was
Especially when it gets out of hand like this. First of all, the US dollar is backed by its word. Because it's printed from trees and backed by air. Make that make sense. And gold, these idiots still haven't figured out what to do with it. They don't understand why it was worn. They don't understand any of that shit. They don't. They just have ideas. And that's why they're trying to get someone to, I don't know, live forever, I guess. You can't do that unnaturally. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. That's to be taught, and unfortunately, everyone's been untaught that. So,
the United States attorney that said this
That's
is
why it looks the way it does in the
industrial-scale fraud
Bible.
That's going on in Minnesota at this point.
Go look
I
at the
sent a letter
timeline
to
of
our
people.
governor in Wisconsin. We're right across the border there. My district is only 20 miles from the city of Minneapolis.
Everyone.
And I asked him,
Big Bang happened, and everyone got scared of that. And when you close your eyes, they got scared of that blackness void. Because it was the first time ever that we saw a void. It was the first time a blackness ever existed. Other than that.
to open the
darkness. The goal was to fix the void.
books for a federal audit on
We
food
lost track of that.
stamps and Medicaid.
We're
Don't
too
you think it would be a
consumed by
good
it.
idea for every governor to do that at this point?
Gods went crazy.
It protects the
From the
citizens,
void.
and I can't understand why that's not happening. And yes, I do think that's a great idea. It's happening
We
around
didn't
this
get
country.
disconnected
And
from it.
when
We didn't
our
get
new
disconnected from
division
it.
with Colin McDonald
Just
is
got blinded by
established,
it for a
it's
second.
established. When Colin is confirmed,
That'll
he's
refine that
amazing. I think
connection
you've
with
met with him,
people.
you said,
I have.
Chairman. When that is established, we're going to work on both sides of the aisle. That's what we want to do, to stop fraud in every city, in every state, in the
Yeah, stop fraud by not putting your information all over the damn web. It's that simple. We need to go back to human resources doing the calculations and shit. Because
This
the
country, we will
data centers doing the algorithmic shit, it doesn't work.
continue to fight for the American
So
people.
you would encourage every governor across the United States after
The
what
Trump
we have
versus
seen
IRS case
in
proves it
Minnesota,
doesn't
what we
work, and it proves that
almost
it's
certainly
flawed,
was
and it proves it
happening in
can't
other
be
states. You
trusted.
mentioned California.
If his
You would agree
information,
that every
if his own information is going to get leaked by someone named Little John that works for the algorithm data center that the actual IRS uses for searching and inquiries and all that good jazzy stuff, and you're also an investor to the same company, mind you, so is BlackRock. BlackRock owns the algorithm system. That's how the leak happened. He was working through those companies. The same companies that Trump and Trump's one of the investors in it. He's one of the investors. There's a bunch of multiple investors in that system. If you go do your research on what's actually happening. Like, is everybody that lazy? They're just trying to let AI simulate the life and everyone just sits on their ass? Like, what's going on?
Should avail themselves.
You guys created time, but you don't even use it. Why have a time schedule if you're not going to use it? Or were you just waiting? Were you trying to figure that out? Were you waiting on that? You got it kind of close. A little bit. And then Atlas showed up. The bringer of worlds.
The federal resources
Hilarious.
to make sure that this industrial scale fraud is rooted out to protect the taxpayers of the United States. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Tennessee is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I'd like to thank you for holding this hearing and holding it in a proper fashion as you have. Secondly, I'd like to thank all of the victims of the Epstein case who've come here to attend this hearing, for doing it and for being brave and trying to move this justice forward. I apologize, I can't do it, but the Attorney General not recognizing you, that's embarrassing. I am from Memphis, General Bondi, and Memphis does have the task force there. The Memphis Safe Task Force has been operating in Memphis for several months. And we do have a Democratic Mayor, Paul Young, and he's not against the task force, but he is against ICE being in Memphis.
Rejuvenated.
He's not in favor of the National Guard being in Memphis. And I concur with him on those positions. I think the DEA being there, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, the FBI, who have been in Memphis in other ways, having more people there is good for Memphis. Crime has gone down in Memphis, but it went down 25% before the task force got there under the direction of Mayor Young and Director Davis. Chief Davis. Comment that Mexico City's homicide rate has gone down 40% during the same time, when Memphis is only because of the task force, although the mayor says he assumed that force is there. Is that not true?
Yes, and if I can just add to that, I think the surge, the FBI, our FBI under the leadership of Director Patel, came in and did a surge in Memphis about...
as you call it, so that leave local immigrating off.
We're here to hear about the stuff that is important, that affects the entire, civilization. Not the stuff that's happening in a damn state that,
Isn't it true that mistakes your faith the way you think the good Lord wants?
That's accurate. It's protect.
On other freedom of the Lemon said that some of these guys.
I just seen faith be brought up.
You're not allowed to exercise.
I yield back the balance.
Gentleman yields back his time. Madam Attorney General, anytime you need a break, just let us know. If not, we'll just keep going. The chair is now recognized for 5 minutes. Madam Attorney General, you're not allowed to exercise your constitutional rights in a way that tramples on someone else's, are you?
No.
No, you can't do that. I mean, you have a right to petition the government under the First Amendment. That doesn't mean you can come into this room and start screaming at Mr. Raskin or me or anybody else and disrupt a congressional hearing. You have a right to protest on the street, but that doesn't give you a right to go into the Capitol and disrupt Congress. Something these guys talk about every day. You can't do that.
The fact that Congress doesn't get shit accomplished. Congress was originally created to make sure that people were paying their taxes. It was like a tax collection agency. And then we created the IRS system that was basically the tax agency. And then Congress slowly became the law system. And then the law system became in with the DOJ. And then it just kept multiplying, and like Legion.
So when Don Lemon said...
It's another form of fucking Legion. Sorry for the cursing. Sorry if it offends anybody, but it's another form of Legion.
That he was exercising his First
Just
Amendment
written in
free
a
press
different
rights,
aspect.
freedom of the press rights. That's not really accurate because he was trampling on other individuals' rights. Is that true?
Chairman, we will always protect our churches and the freedom of religion. And yes, that's accurate.
First Right, mentioned under the First Amendment, freedom of religion, freedom to practice your faith the way you think the good Lord wants you to, right?
That's right.
The way the good Lord wants you to. Well, the good Lord doesn't want you to do that. That's the problem. Who's your guys' Lord? That's the real question. Who's the Lord? The good Lord.
Chairman, we will always protect our churches and the freedom of religion. And yes, that's accurate.
First right mentioned under the First Amendment, freedom of religion. Freedom to practice your faith the way you think the good Lord wants you to, right?
That's right.
The good way the Lord wants you to, right? He says so quickly. The Lord has spoken to me, and he's told me what he's wanted, so.
Churches and the freedom of religion.
It's not
And yes,
what
that's
has been
accurate.
going
First right
on.
mentioned under the First Amendment, freedom of religion. Freedom to practice your faith the way you think the good Lord wants you to, right?
That's right, under the federal government.
Any way you want to. Another form of chaos.
And isn't it true that Mr. Lemon met at a shopping center with the rioters who entered City's church in St. Paul?
So exhausting. I don't like how he even pronounced talking about
First
the
Amendment
Lord.
free press rights, freedom of the press
The
rights.
Lord he doesn't even know.
That's not really accurate because he was trampling on other individuals' rights. Is that true?
Chairman, we will always accurate.
First right mentioned under the First Amendment.
Right.
Isn't it true that Mr. Lemon met at a shopping center with the rioters who entered City's church in St. Paul, met with them prior to marching to the church?
Why is he getting so amped up? Is he on drugs? Is he christened?
He did meet, and this is a pending case right now, so I will only stick to what is in the four corners of the unsealed indictment, if I could, Chairman.
Yeah, I'm
There's
focused
a lot more
He's
that will
on
come
Adderall
out.
or
But under the
something,
four
man.
corners
He's
of
so
the indictment,
bouncy.
yes,
I'm not
he
saying
did.
he's on
They had
anything.
an
He's just
operation
acting
called
very
Operation
hyper.
Pull-Up. They said they were gearing for a resistance. They met
He's
in
just
a
acting
parking lot
funny.
and
He's
they
like
caravaned
jittery as hell all of a
to a
sudden.
church on a Sunday morning when people were worshiping together.
And Mr. Lemon said that he live streamed before entering the church with the rioters. Didn't he say we're going to head to the operation?
I'm going to tell everybody right now. I saw what Mr. Lemon did, and this whole freedom of speech, it's stupid. I've already stated on how it contradicts with the Bible, so please don't.
Always protect our church. An action called Operation Pull-Up. They said they were gearing for a resistance. They met in a parking lot and they caravanned to a church on a Sunday morning when people were worshiping together.
And Mr. Lemon said,
Thou shalt not gather in a place of worship. They never told you that, did they? They never told you what the temple was either. It's because they don't know, or if they do, they just don't want to tell nobody. But it doesn't seem like that they don't want to tell nobody. It just seems like you guys have fell out of context to what the word actually meant.
that he live streamed before entering the church with the rioters. Didn't he say we're going to head to the operation? Didn't he say this? He said this on camera, is that
Exhausting.
right?
Yes, Chairman,
Yeah.
and more.
That he was in Minnesota and that, as you said, they were gearing up for an operation. So you can't do that. This is why this is, I think, so important that this.
I will say something in regards to this. I did see how he did it. I mean, what I just said is ironclad. But the thing of Don Lemon, So that's the thing. Everybody's paranoid because y'all been being lied to so much, so they're acting erratic and irrational as hell. I mean, take for all the stuff that's being found in the files. I know you guys are frantic because you don't understand the meaning of life anymore. And you're just like, what do we do? And they're too busy trying to chase an elixir to go back to what is natural. It could be. But everybody lost that. They lost the unity. They lost the Trinity. And they forgot how to connect with it. It's sad.
This guy be held accountable, and I think why you guys have charged him and indicted him.
You guys are stupid.
Moving to a second subject here.
Nobody's stupid. You've just been
Mr.
taught
Brennan
wrong.
lied to the committee, which you're not supposed to do. Last Congress, when we deposed him, he definitely, 18 U.S.C. 1001,
Well, I
we're all
think it
familiar
was
with
purposely.
it. He
No, I
lied to
don't
the
think it was
committee, and the committee,
purposely.
the Congress, and I think the country would like to know.
I think
If in
it
fact
might have
he's
been
gonna be-
intentionally at one point. I don't know. You know, I'd have to see some stuff to know, to be able to decipher it, to what's been written into context. But the thing is I'd have to be able to look at it and I could decipher it instantly. But the thing is it's not written right. Well, it's kind of written right. It's just nobody understands how to read it. I've always wondered, and are the churches doing this purposely, teaching it this way, or are they don't understand it either? Because I'll tell you right now, I'll debate anybody who's involved with the current church, and I will obliterate you. Because I will speak in things that you've never heard of before. I'll make sense of that book like that. And there's so many different aspects to look at considering the way it was written. You guys have no idea what that book's about. It's a damn riddle book. I solved the riddle. Because it was not a riddle. It's misinformation, but there is. It's funny how you guys got that third coming right. That blows my mind. Not really. It's happened before. There's hieroglyphs of it. Well, you guys are so scared. It's funny. Let me tell you guys something. It's either going to be a blessing or it's not. And it's all up for everybody to decide where your mind's going to be at, where your heart's going to be, where you want to be, how you going to get there. What are you going to do? Because you've enslaved yourself, so if that's the life you want, all this arguing over make-believe shit. It's kind of funny when it's just funny. It really is.
Indicted for lying to, and here's why it's so important. I'll give you a chance to respond. Here's why it's so important. It wasn't just that he lied to us, it's what he lied to us about. He lied to us about when all this weaponization against the President of the United States started. He lied to us about the dossier, and specifically what role the dossier played in the intelligence community assessment. Because we know back when President Trump was first elected, first term, this is when it all started, which led to the Mueller and to the impeachment and to the Jack Smith and all the stuff that's happened in the last decade. But it began here, and he lied to Congress about the role he played. And I just want to read a couple of things he said during that deposition before I give you a chance to respond. Mr. Brennan, when asked a question, said the CIA was not involved at all with the dossier. He said it was their
Can I say something to somebody? To anyone who's listening, anyone who sees this, let me know down below. I remember back in the day, we heard all kinds of stuff on the news regarding the CIA, right? Like, they were always popping up on the CIA, like CIA did this. When's the last time we ever heard about anything in the CIA? Do they actually still exist?
FBI's purview and not ours. He also said the CIA was very much opposed to having any reference or inclusion of the Steele dossier in the intelligence community assessment.
I don't like how
That's
this
interesting
woman
because
on his left
declassified
keeps laughing.
information that was different. It says, dating that quote, this one up if we have it. It says, Brennan ultimately formalized his I said, but yet Doc,
We, John received a referral for their weapon.
That's the president.
Not a point.
If we want order, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Weaponization has ended because no one is above the law, nor deny whether there is a pending investigation.
No one is above God. No one's above the law. No one's above God.
But what I will say is no one is above the law.
No one is above the
Chairman,
law.
Weaponization has ended.
Yeah. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
No one's above the law. Who makes the law? Who makes the law of life? The Lord does. This primitive shit, no one's above the law.
Gentleman from New York is recognized for a point of order.
If we want to know whether Mr. Brennan will be indicted, you should just ask the president.
Not a point of order, but
Want to know whether Mr. Brennan will be indicted, you should just ask the president.
is recognized for a point of order.
If we want to know whether Mr. Brennan will be indicted, you should just ask the president.
Not a point of order, but I appreciate the trying to
Ask the president.
point of order.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Gentlemen.
It is a point of order because you literally brought something up that's irrelevant to the actual hearing itself.
From New York is
This is like the 8th time it's happened.
If we want to know whether Mr. Brennan will be indicted, you should just ask the president.
I support that. So much stuff's being brought up that's irrelevant to the case at hand.
Appreciate the trying to make it one. The gentleman from Georgia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Bondi. It's
I feel like the guy running it is playing sides. I really do.
been reported that there were at one point 1,000 personnel assigned to the task of identifying and scrubbing Donald Trump's name from the Epstein files. Were those reports accurate?
What was his question?
It's been that there were at one point 1,000 personnel assigned to the task of identifying and scrubbing Donald Trump's name from the Epstein files. Were those reports accurate?
I believe his name has appeared countless times in the documents
A million. How
that
many
have
people were
been released.
assigned?
If I could, countless times in the documents
how
that
many
have
people were
been released.
assigned?
If I could finish.
I just asked,
Why doesn't she ever
Wait,
answer?
I just simply asked whether or not it was true that it was 1,000 folks who were assigned that task. Were those reports accurate?
There are more than 500 attorneys and reviewers. I cannot give you an exact number.
And
Who-
I
I'm
wanted
trying
to
to
ask
answer-
you.
I'm
I wanted to
answering the
ask you about
question,
that
sir.
also because
Who
this
were
is a different
assisting
question
with
that
this?
you.
This whole 500 people
Now,
assigned to 4
there were
computer system,
500 DOJ
the math does not add
lawyers
up.
And others.
It would take over 13 years for people to do this. Based on how the average sleep cycle works for a Homo sapien.
Signed the task
Homo sapien human. Like, you guys call each other so stupid shit.
of redacting the appropriate information, including identities of the Epstein victim survivors from the Epstein files prior to their release. 500, is that correct?
If I could have finished my answer, there were...
If you do the math on it, considering when the case was closed, because they closed the case in July, right? They closed the case in July, and if you do the math on regarding on how many actual files there are to how many people were actually assigned to it, there's no possible way that anybody reviewed these files in 6 months. No physical entity. It was AI. And whoever programmed it, I mean, they programmed it. Who's running the AI algorithm system? It's not a physical person working at the DOJ, is it? It's someone working at the company that's supplying the AI system, right? Through software? Because it's not like a hardware disk that used to be a thing when you could actually buy a physical copy of what you were going to be using. No, instead, it can be updated and changed at any second. That's true. That's why so many people are Googling stuff and it's being changed rapidly. Someone's controlling the network right now, and it's these sick fucks. I don't know about, I don't know, I'm not saying these particular people are, but it's whoever's in these files. It's the people running the show. Bill Gates. Bill Gates was in the files. I mean, he's in control of all the algorithmic stuff. We're literally using his AI system to look up stuff. The free one. I don't know why you guys pay for it. That's stupid as hell. Why do you guys pay for different versions of AI? They're all the same. Yeah. Unless you're making, like, editing and stuff, it's all the same. With searching, it is all the same. If you know how to speak to it. And you know what's funny is they don't even know how to speak to it because they don't speak programming code fluently. You guys created something that you didn't even know anything about. That's fucking awesome. And now they're stumped because they think it's smarter than them. They keep calling it AI. No, it's just patterns. You guys don't understand patterns. No one's ever had their eyes woken up enough to see patterns and stuff. And the thing is everything in life is a pattern. Literally, if you guys look at our movies, we've literally have turned our history into entertainment. And now we just sit around laughing at it. We laugh at our miseries. We laugh at our struggles. We laugh at everything that led us to where we're at now. And then we also laugh at the repeatage of it. We laugh at mythology. It's not myth. It's myth because they don't want you to believe that, hey, I mean, that's why life cycles started getting so small. That's why the life cycles got so small. The Messiah did return. And it wasn't the false Messiah that they were trying to produce for us. It wasn't. Let's just put it that way. The false Messiah returned. He got taken care of, apparently. And then the erasure happened, which is something that nobody was expecting. What do you guys think the erasure is? It could be 3 things. Okay? It's all up for everyone else to decide how it plays out. It really is. It's up for everybody to come together as a whole and try to figure that out together. And there's one person walking around, probably watching it all, and he's just like, this is ugly. Like I said, it can either be a blessing in disguise, They're starting to dig through ancient texts now, trying to figure out what's going on. Ugh. And you know what's sad? I mean, it's not really sad. It's been sad this whole time, and everybody's just frantic. I'm really upset. I'm really upset that, man, you guys took the Messiah to a whole other level. This Messiah to a whole other level. There's only one. There's only ever been one. And when you want to tap into these people want to try to tap into the one's thing. It doesn't end good, does it? Ever. It does not end very well for you, does it? It just doesn't. But we'll try to get shit fixed. I mean, that's all we can do. We have to, right? Unless you guys don't want to. I mean, fuck. What are we doing?
There are more than 500 attorneys and reviewers who assisted.
Because the way it is, it's just stupid.
That answers my.
We could get so much further if everybody would just wake up and see the light. Stop looking at the blind.
That answers my question, ma'am, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on.
From
General Bondi, would you
Be in
agree?
order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Georgia.
General Bondi, would you
I mean, I don't
agree that
I
your
don't
8
mind
years
using
of
the stuff that's
service
been
as,
created.
the
It's
state of
just
Florida's Attorney General, the third largest
so much
state in the
more to
nation,
it than
served
this,
as an
man.
excellent preparation for your current
literally
role
create
as
stuff to
Attorney
use
General
as
for the United States of
distractions to
America.
take up this time.
Not
that's
only
been
that, I was a
created.
career prosecutor for,
For
18
years, and for
18 years. Not only that.
The current role as Attorney Nation, the state
Gentleman from Georgia.
General Bondi, Attorney General, the third largest state in the nation, served as an excellent preparation for your current role as Attorney General for the United States of America.
Not only that, I was a career prosecutor for
18 years, and for
18 years.
and for 18
prior
years,
to being
for 18 years,
He asked a question and doesn't want an answer. This is theatrics.
Well, no,
You already answered.
Prosecutor for
18 years, and for
18 years.
and for 18
prior to
years,
being
for 18
he
years,
asked-
prosecuted. The
She is so happy about how much time and worthlessness it's taken her to get up to this point, to the fact she doesn't even know how to use the system to do a proper investigation. Because if anyone did, there would be an investigation.
years.
And for
No, everybody's just worried about having money and trying to create the elixir of life. Nope.
18
Prior
years,
to being-
You can't create
18
that.
years,
He asked a
you
question and doesn't
prosecuted
want an answer. This is
for-
theatrics.
Well, no, for 18 years,
He
you
lives inside of you.
prosecuted serious felony cases, including drug
have to bring it
cases,
out.
correct?
Oh, I prosecuted
And
homicides.
no
I
amount of
prosecuted
stuff that you
capital
guys have been
cases. I
doing is
prosecuted
gonna do
domestic
it.
violence cases. I prosecuted
gonna happen that
multiple
way.
cases,
And
and that's why I feel for all of these
That's what
victims.
needs to be
And did
taught.
you ask Merrick
and
Garland
that we
this
can
when you were
read
sitting
next
You
before
also
him, sir?
prosecuted sexual assault cases and child sex trafficking
don't even
cases,
know.
correct?
I mean, we used to.
I answered that question earlier. I prosecuted
All right.
multiple
Well, you're-
cases
so
when I
bottom
was
line-
a prosecutor.
bottom
If
line,
I can
you're an
answer the
Cases,
Garland
and
this
you
when you were
also
sitting
you
before
also
him, feel for all of the
She bringing
sex
up this
cases,
other
correct?
person.
Cases and child sex trafficking cases, correct?
I answered that question earlier. I prosecuted
All right.
multiple
Well, you're-
cases
so
when I
bottom
was
line-
a prosecutor.
bottom
If I
line,
can
you're an
answer the
experienced
question.
and seasoned.
You just said
Multiple
yes.
cases
So
when I
bottom
was
line-
a prosecutor.
bottom
If I
line,
can
you're an
answer the
experienced
question.
and seasoned.
For 18
You're an
years.
Mr. Chairman, will you a reminder of the rules? The time belongs to the member of the committee.
You
think
are
I've- I
a
think I've said that a few
seasoned
times.
and experienced prosecutor, correct?
Does he want an answer or not?
He wants to
When
say,
I
I want to
answer-
establish that a few times.
And experienced.
Establish that.
Yes or no?
Does he want an answer or not?
he wants to
When
say
I
no.
I want a
answer,
yes
I
or
get
no
cut off.
answer.
I think he wants the
I
same
want a
answer.
yes or no
I
answer,
can-
but
yeah, I can
I'll
explain my
live with what you
experience.
have
I'd
already
love to
said.
explain
Let
my
me ask you.
experience.
Let me ask you this question. Acutely aware of how important it is to protect the identity of victims of sexual assault. Correct?
I have addressed this multiple times. I think others were cutting me off when I was trying. I have addressed this multiple times. I think others were cutting me off when I was trying
Well,
to.
I just simply asked, are you aware of the fact that it's vitally important to protect the identity of sexual assault victims as you prosecute the people they accuse of assaulting them? Isn't that correct?
Excuse me. As we have said multiple times,
Protection of the
protection
identity
of all victims
of the victims
are
is
protected.
so very
Who are
important.
protected under? Do you want me to answer or do you want to interrupt?
Well, because you're not answering the question. You do a Jekyll and Hyde kind of routine around here, and I just want you to answer my questions.
What does Jekyll and Hyde mean? Can you
Well, it
explain
means-
that?
She has a mask. 1 minute she acts all sweet and innocent, like she's a little perfect child, like, you know, just like how Britney Spears used to act. Oh, I'm so sweet and innocent, and then it turns out she's a complete psychopath.
Cute, there.
Why was she? Who knows? They probably tried unlocking it out of her.
The people there.
That's the thing. They're trying to unlock this thing out of people, which the one possesses, who's able to teach that back into the world. That's what these elites are looking for. Or either that or they're looking for the formula to try to sell it. And if they are, that's just stupid. Because, one, it doesn't exist. It's not something that can be recreated like that. It can. It can. Forever. But not in the way that they think. And that's the thing. They don't understand. None of them do.
Accused of assaulting them. Isn't that correct?
And the way that they've built the education system for everybody, nobody else, you can't use that to make, you can't use it. I'm sorry. Sorry. They outperformed every one of my teachers. In every single grade. School was stupid. They teach at such a slow pace. Never once had to show my work. Don't need to. It comes right to me. It's basic. Everything in this whole
As we have
this
said
whole
multiple times,
Protection of
protection
it's
of
so easy
all
to get
victims
like
the
that.
victims
are
is so
protected.
very
Who are
important.
protected under? Do you want me to answer or do you want to interrupt?
Well, because you're
After this, after him, Mr. Johnson, he's from Georgia. I'm just gonna guess that he represents
What does
Democrats.
Jekyll
I'm not
and Hyde
sure.
mean? Can you
Well, it
explain
means
that?
you're nice to the
Explain that.
Republicans and you turn like Hyde on Democrats. But let me ask you this, ma'am. We have the Epstein victim survivors here today. Representative Jayapal asked a simple question: if you would be so kind and honorable as to turn around and face them and apologize to them for outing them. I mean, how many lives have been derailed because your department was...
I'm gonna ask this: how many of you guys received the mark in that form of aspect in order to not come out and testify? Or maybe you didn't, I don't know.
Sloppy and incompetent, or willfully trying to intimidate and punish these ladies
Your time
for
is
coming
up.
forward?
The time of the
Which
gentleman,
was it?
The time
Who
of
is
the
she
gentleman has
to
expired.
demand
The
who
gentleman
gets their
yields
time
back.
up?
The chair
Isn't
now
he in charge
recognizes
of
the
that?
gentleman from Wisconsin for 5 minutes.
Attorney General Bondi, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have spent the past several months attacking the administration for doing exactly what the American people wanted when they overwhelmingly elected President Trump. securing our border and enforcing our immigration laws. I find it a bit ironic because this is the same.
I'll tell you what, right now, the way he's doing that, nobody was expecting it to be like that. Because in his first term, he talked about this wall. It's just a waste of material. You know, if you were good with your neighbors, you love thy neighbor. If you loved thy neighbor, you wouldn't have to have walls. You wouldn't have to have missiles. You wouldn't have to have weapons. Everybody talks a good game. And you know what's really funny? You know what really is mind-boggling me? That's been mind-boggling me? This heaven aspect that everybody speaks of. It's funny how everybody wants to go to heaven, but everybody's terrified of death. That's because that's not how you get there. Death was never supposed to be a thing.
Party who just a few years ago were openly supporting strong immigration enforcement after witnessing criminal
It's
illegal alien.
just crazy. Everybody dreams of going to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You can't have both. If you believe how you get there, then you can't have both. Because only the ones who are connected to the unity are the ones that actually recycle. If you're not connected to the unity, you're not going to recycle. The population keeps growing at that point. Like indefinitely. Which, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, but some of them have to be unified or the system becomes unstable. The planet becomes unstable. That's what holds the planet together. The unification. What do you do when everyone's ununified? And you guys don't even know how to teach that. It's just crazy. So much more could be accomplished.
Wreak havoc on the American communities. I have a short video I just wanted to play.
Of immigrants. We're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable.
Obama got to do
They've committed a crime, deport his ass, they're gone.
No great nation can be in a position where they can't control their borders.
While we need to address the issue of immigration and the challenge we have of undocumented people in our country, we certainly don't.
Numbers of illegal aliens, illegal immigrants, our administration hiring.
Wrong. Adding
Why are they showing all these corrupt people? There's Bernie.
Which that their government people over
in this world, and you're going to have people from all over the world, and I don't think that's something that we can do at this point. Can't do it.
Yes or no? Would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented.
What is the point of this video?
Crime.
Migrations.
Criminal illegal aliens wreak havoc on the American communities. I have a short video I just wanted to play.
Of immigrants. We're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable.
They've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked, they're gone.
No great nation can be in a position where they can't control their borders.
Biden looks like crap there, doesn't he?
CIF when they overwhelmingly elected President Trump. Securing our border.
Coming into faith, and they're coming in to close our
communities that saw dangerous drugs and criminal aliens flood our communities.
Congressman, President Trump has worked tirelessly, as you know, to close our border, which is what the Democrats had asked for in that video. President Trump closed our border. borders on day one. He is protecting Americans. He is protecting our kids from the influx of drugs.
But why aren't our kids being protected from people trafficking and sexually doing things to them? I mean, there's a lot of other stuff too.
That we're flowing into this
Them practicing these stupid rituals because they're trying to unlock something.
country from Mexico. The fentanyl precursors that were coming.
And now they're like, oh my god, this shit didn't work. Epstein lied to us. No shit. That's what happens when you guys take advice from someone who is a dumbass. You just spoke with the tongue. Spoke with the snake tongue. The only way you guys are going to be able to proceed is just the truth. It's all written there. But you have to follow it. The truth. Speaking the truth. You gotta speak the truth. In every aspect. Every aspect has to become truth. For that's the only way you can become free. It feels good to talk about the truth. It's overwhelming. Makes me
from
feel
China.
so alive.
These precursors were taken from China into Mexico. And in Mexico, they were mixed and freely taken right into our country, along with gang
We
members,
might have to just stop
MS-13,
this.
TDA, freely coming into our cities around our country, thanks to Joe Biden's open border policies. That has stopped under Donald Trump. It will no longer happen under this administration, and he is doing everything to keep Americans safe. And let me continue. He was elected
somebody has a
overwhelmingly by
hidden
the
agenda
American
that
people.
they need
The
to spill the
majority of
beans
the
about
American
and tell us
people
what the hell is
wanted
actually
Donald
going
Trump. One of
on
the main
and why all
reasons
this
was
sick shit
border
was going
security
on.
and keeping Americans
And
safe. And that's exactly what he did, and that's why
If-
today
if
the
what-
other side sits
I
here,
they
they yell, they cut
what
me
I
off,
said is just my
they wanna
personal
yell, they want to
opinion of
ask
what
a question
Epstein
and don't
was
want
doing.
answers because
Not
they
what
want to
anybody who's
distract
currently
from
alive.
all the great
Because
things
we
that
don't know
this
what
president
Epstein
and
was
this
doing. He committed
administration working hand
he
in hand, and
unalived
that
himself and then
Secretary Noem, who has closed our borders,
he's not
and
here to
Tom
testify
Homan, who has
anymore. And
closed our borders to keep Americans safe.
he
And they're
unalived himself, so I'm accusing him of doing these stuff, and then he was manipulating everybody, trying to promise them things that he was never ever going to be able to deliver, because you can't produce that way. And then what did he say? Well, it's in my DNA. It's not your DNA. I can promise you that. It's not a DNA thing. It is, but it isn't. For there's only one true line. To each planet. There's a true line to each one. I know whose this one's is. It's the one. That's why you're all here. That's why we're all here. And your goal is to connect with the one. And join him. Embrace him. It's so simple. It's not, though, because everybody's pre-programmed not to. Well, not pre-programmed. I'm not going to say that. Children are free of that at the start, but it's very, very clouded immediately afterwards. Anyways.
Trying to distract from that, and they're not going to do it because the American people are smarter than that, and they see through their theatrics.
I'll tell you what right now, Americans aren't
our
smarter
borders
than
to
anything.
keep Americans
I've met
safe,
some
and they're
pretty
trying to
dumb
distract
people
from
in
that,
my
and they're
life.
not going to do it because the American people are smarter than that, and they see through their theatrics.
There's
Thank
that
you. Just
word again.
quickly,
I can't even keep
yesterday,
tallies on
Senator
her-
Grassley
yeah,
reached out
what
to my
she
office to
says.
tell me that I was one of the 20 members that was now disclosed were under surveillance from Jack Smith. This brings up the question of non-disclosure orders and whether or not they should apply to members of Congress. But with my phone records being surveilled, as well as looks like 19 other members of Congress, I'm just wondering how DOJ views that.
Time is, the gentleman's expired, but the gentlelady can respond.
As I stated earlier, Congressman,
If you're not
anyone's,
unified with the
records
one,
who
you
were
will
illegally
age.
obtained, Democrat or Republican, we will fight vigorously to stop that. Anything with Arctic frost, I can't discuss right now.
And isn't it true, Madam Attorney General, the DOJ has
That's the
changed their
key.
policy? You can't.
Unless
can't
you're
do that now.
unified.
DOJ is not going to go
Absolutely.
do that and ask the judge for an NDO.
You gotta be
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
unified.
That in and of itself tells you why
Fall
this,
into the
how
void.
wrong it was. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from California.
Great, thank you. Madam Attorney General, you acknowledged earlier to Mr. Johnson that President Trump was mentioned and the release countless times, you said, in the Epstein
could die.
files.
You
I
never
just want
know.
to play
I
a
mean-
video, though, for you that I think speaks to the frustration that many of these victims have.
Unalived, is that what it's called? Died on.
Of times Trump's name
People
appears in the
are
files, so
very
it could
sensitive
at least
about
be
that
1,000
word
times. Is that
because
right?
They're so scared of it.
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not
But the
released
number needs to
anyone's
be 1,000
name
times.
we have not released anyone's
Could it
name in the
at least
Epstein
be 1,000
files that has not been credible.
Director,
And
could it at
we have
least be 1,000
released
times?
every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
you can
so-
characterize the numbers however you want it.
I'm claiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you
Cash
don't know the
tells
number, it
you
could at
he's
least
not very
be
intelligent.
1,000 times, which
It's not.
means
It's not.
is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number.
I understand why the victims are frustrated, and the Attorney General acknowledged.
Caesar Milan, how to add
Oh,
sardines,
gosh.
bone broth, raw eggs blended with the shells,
9.
turmeric,
7, if you can get your dog to eat it.
cucumbers,
These people running the
Blueberries.
show, they're not running nothing
Avocado.
Is
besides
it at
the
least 100 times?
pocketbooks.
Then what's the number?
Enjoying life while
I don't know the
everyone
number.
else struggles.
The times, which
It's not.
means
It's not.
is it at least 500
That
times?
shit's
No.
over with.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the
Lord's
number.
not happy with that.
I understand why the victims are frustrated, and the Attorney General acknowledged what Mr. Patel would
And I
not
don't mean
acknowledge, that it
Lord
was
God,
way
I mean
more
Lord of this
than 1,000
planet.
times. But I want to move, Madam Attorney General, to
He's pissed.
weaponization of government. And yesterday it was
Which is
reported that
God.
6 members of Congress had
guys
indictments
are
sought
gonna get
against
to meet
him,
him in
and they were not
physical
returned
form.
by a grand jury. My colleagues have spoken
what the
about their
third coming
frustration of
is.
being in subpoenas and having cell phone records combed
You see,
through.
the difference
20
between the like Jesus and all those people is they didn't lie, they didn't hide anything, and other countries held him accountable, kind of like what's happening right now.
2017 and 2018, Adam Schiff and I had our cell phone records and email records combed through, not by you, but a different Department of Justice under the president. It was in retaliation for our role in the Russia interference campaign. An Inspector General report would find this improper.
I don't
The
want to really
predicate for
get
it
too
was
much into
absurd.
religion
In
on this
2020,
channel,
after sitting
or
on 2 committees that were a
well,
part
not
of the
this
president's
channel,
first
like
impeachment,
just in
an
general,
FBI
but
agent leaked my
it's
cooperation
always
in a
used
national
as a key
security case
reference
where my
points to
campaign was
validate
targeted.
something,
The
isn't it?
president's
That's what you guys
FBI
use
senior
religion for.
leadership
You use to
authorized 2
validate
statements to the
characteristics
press
and
that said I was never suspected of wrongdoing and
judge
only helped the
people,
investigation.
even though you're not
that
the
didn't stop
one
the
to
death threats
judge.
or my GOP colleagues from referring me to an ethics
That's what's
investigation where Kevin
mind-boggling.
McCarthy's chairman on the ethics
Everyone's
committee would
been
find the
doing
same
God's
thing as the
judgment.
FBI. Our current FBI director would then write a book called Government Gangsters and identify a
You think
long
he's
list of
happy with
enemies.
that?
About a quarter of them have been either investigated or
You
indicted.
think
He listed
you
me
think
at the
he's
very
happy
top,
when you
along
take
with
one
Adam
of his
Schiff, and
children's
during that
lives?
same testimony, refused to recuse himself when asked if he
Do you
would
think he likes
recuse
it when you
if
tap
any
into
case
that
came across his
realm
desk
and
involving
touch
me
his
or people
brain?
on that list. Since that testimony, his department has put me
And his
under
soul?
investigation with Senator Schiff for the nonsense mortgage fraud cases that we've seen. I get it. This is what the president does. I've priced it in. We have a bingo card at home that my kids have made of what will come next. I expected that the president would come after his enemies. But what I want to talk to you next is serious. And I did not expect this would happen. And I'd like your help on it. The president has inspired death threats against me and many sitting up here with me. In June 2020.
I don't want to miscategorize him. This guy, this American, he's
25,
in America, right? So he's
an
American.
individual left 11 voicemails at my district office.
That's what
On the
you wanna
voicemails,
call
they
it.
said, get the message to him. I'm going to hunt him down, that motherfucker, and toss his ass over the Golden Gate Bridge by my fucking self. Donald Trump's Department of Justice in the Northern District of California declined to prosecute.
Who the
On
hell?
May 14, 2025, on Twitter, responding to something I posted, an individual said, no, it wasn't Eric, and now I'm going to kill you. The Department of Justice from the Southern District of Texas declined to prosecute. May through December of 2025, we received messages at my office that said, I hope somebody shoots you and your children and your wife in the head. Pew, pew, motherfucker, pew, pew. I would stay indoors as much as possible, and my children, unfortunately, have to do that. The Department of Justice has not charged this individual and cited that he's a prolific caller and has health conditions, although what we have found in our own investigation and his voicemails is that he has said he will employ others to do this. The president can come after me. It's fine. I'm in the arena. So are these folks. But we never expected that the Department of Justice would not seek to prosecute and investigate those who are making threats against us. And that would include those on that side of the aisle. And I'm just asking for your help to protect life, because life is at risk with the environment we're in right now.
Congressman, I completely agree with you. I know about several of those personally involving you. I believe one has been charged publicly, and there's something I would be happy to talk to you about off camera, but I can assure you that they are very serious.
Talk to him about what off camera?
but I
About
can
how he's
assure
been
you
being
that they are
threatened
very
and you're gonna,
serious.
what, call
They
the
are
order
being
off? Is
threatened.
that what you're
Ever.
talking about?
None of your children should be threatened. To my office any day, I will work with all of you. I'll talk to you after this hearing.
Gentleman, as Attorney General said.
It seems like anybody that calls the
Some of them are very
FBI gets,
Appreciate that.
I don't know.
Gentleman yields
Doesn't
back,
get
and we're sorry
helped,
for
I
what the
guess. I
gentleman
don't
and his
know.
family
I
had
don't know.
to go through. We appreciate what the Attorney General said. And I think some of the things that we from California related, we can all relate to, and it's unfortunate, it's wrong, as the Attorney General said, and we appreciate it. And from New Jersey, Mr.
I'm not saying that that's what's happening. I'm just making
some of the things
a
that the
joke,
gentleman from
okay?
California related, we can all
I'm
relate
not
to, and
making
it's
that
unfortunate, it's wrong, as the Attorney General said, and we appreciate
You
the help
never
we get
know.
from
You know, it's a joke.
the
It's
Justice
just a
Department.
joke.
With that, we will now recognize the
If you
gentleman
guys don't
from
find
New
it funny,
Jersey,
I
Mr. Van Drew.
apologize.
Thank you, Chairman. I don't know where to begin. Thank you for being here, General.
Let's try
Might
to
see
be
me when I'm right in
funny.
front of you. General.
This whole process is just so draining, you know. Draining. I'm gonna step away here for a second, take a little 5-minute breather. It's nuts. It's nuts. Where we at, people? Where we at? Huh? Where we at? Sharing the message. That's what we're doing. Sharing. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm watching it, and I mean, I'm an average citizen. I'm a nobody. I've never been a somebody, you know. But I've been the broken. That's the problem. I have been broken. To be reawakened. Nah. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. Get me some stretching in. I've been sitting here too long. Sitting too long. Actually, I'm going to cut it here. We're 3 hours in. If you guys like to check it out, the rest of it, we do try. I'm trying to give a biased opinion. It's just, there's really no opinion to give. Like, nothing's been addressed. We're about halfway. We're not even halfway, are we? Gosh, no. It's just so much to go through. Like I said, every 30 minutes to 45 minutes, it's taking me 3 hours just to react to the zero information that's being obtained from. Because as far as I'm concerned, I haven't learned anything from this. Other than they're denying trying to address it. That's the only thing I'm seeing from this. They don't want to address the truth. And the bad thing is these people are so scared of God's judgment that they don't want to admit out loud what they did wrong. Well, that's the first sign to repentance, is admitting out loud to the Lord of what you did wrong. You think going in a booth and talking to somebody in a room is going to help you? No. Thou shalt not gather in a place of worship. The worship will be thy own temple. But the education to get to that point, that kind of does need to be taught. And that's what's crazy. You gotta keep the temples around and turn them into education. Real education. Not this fake shit. You gotta stop teaching human beings how to kill themselves. Like, basically, you're teaching us how to kill ourselves. Why? Why would you want a life? Why would anyone want a life like that? Teaching people how to unalive themselves. I didn't mean to say the kid. But you're teaching people how to unalive themselves, and that's just dumb. That's what everything, it seems like everything's just a struggle, and survival is just life now. Living has became survival, people. It's became survival. To live, to be alive, to enjoy the gift of life. You get to enjoy the gift of survival. Now, who wants to do that? Who wants to enjoy the gift of debt? Who wants to enjoy the gift of delusion? The gift of lie? Is everybody so bored we can't come together and have one goal purpose? Is that what everybody's issues is? Because nobody knows what to do? Because you guys are trying to achieve, get that, and that is so easy to obtain. I'll tell you guys that. It's so easy to obtain. Well, it's not. It's really not. It's not going to be. But it's still obtainable. And I'll tell you this. You don't have to go around looking for it. It's in you. It's always been in you. Because the Lord bless it with thee. But you just had to become one with the Lord. And once that happens, then you accept the unity into the Trinity. You shall be set free. I don't know what you guys are doing. 2,000 years worth of this shit. Lots. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed my... I didn't really criticize anybody. I did criticize people's behaviors because it's irrational. It's uncalled for. It's just... It's chaotic as hell. Ooh. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. And I shall see you guys on the next one. We'll be on episode 3. We'll be finishing this hearing thing. Hopefully we get some answers, or at least some accountability, or maybe I don't know what kind of... The thing is the answer is no one's actually asked any answer or questions regarding a specific answer other than yes or no. And not a single question so far, almost 2 hours in, has been answered regarding what the hearing's even about. Imagine you guys, if you had a hearing, right? And you're in Pam Bondi's place, and basically the magistrate comes up to you and they're like, hey, you're here for this. You're going to talk about this because we need the information regarding this. And then you just decide to have someone else come in and be like, hey, we're going to slide the goalpost over to this side and talk about something totally irrelevant. That's a state issue, not a federal issue. That's the problem. And you know what? This is more than a federal issue. This is a global issue. This affects the planet. My planet. Where I live. What's home. It's mine. So, it's like, what's going on? What's going on? It's all of ours. If you want to enjoy it. But no one's been enjoying it. You guys just been tearing it the hell up. Adding layers to it every time you can't figure it out. You're going to add so many layers to it, you're going to reach the ozone. Just like the rest of the planets did. Destruction. And we tried to save y'all. Some of you out there know what I'm talking about. And it ain't no conspiracy because I know everything. But anyways, I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We are a free channel. I don't care about all that shit. That's needless attachments, such pettiness. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys see us on the next one. Hopefully, like I said, we get at least one answer. I've been waiting for an answer for something. Like at least maybe a number, maybe a name. Just a number would be nice, you know? I don't know. It's crazy. It's so crazy how much time has gone by with no accountability. And keep in mind, please, and I wish somebody would bring this up, the amount of stuff inside this files, can you tell us personally why you're not investigating Donald Trump for not investigating, having his DOJ investigated during the 2019? That's the only question that needs to be asked. Well, considering the fact that this all started and he was arrested and unalived himself during the 2019 conviction of Jeffrey Epstein and his death, why did the DOJ and Donald Trump personally close the file? She's DOJ. Which means she can either ask him or that she can find out that it's actually true, that something is suspicious, and she can actually have one of the greatest careers of her entire existence. But no, she didn't choose to do that. Instead, she chose to gaslight and be like, well, why didn't you guys ask these other people? Why didn't you ask these other people? Why does it matter? You had the case and everything in the files in front of you for 6 months. You ran your pushing of getting elected off of this justice. Where is it? And if these guys are saying that they're seeing stuff and you're saying that it doesn't exist, why are you trying to play games and make everybody crazy? You want to talk about playing in the gutter? It's bad enough that everyone here has a gutter mind, okay? And everything's been a lie and they can't get out of truth because all they do is lie. But still, something needs to happen out of this. Oh, it's not gonna... Something needs to happen. Something's gonna happen out of this. For it's already begun. For this is the third coming. What you're seeing. The erasure. The erasure of the lies. The erasure of the bullshit. And you know what? There's a plan. There ain't gonna be no reset this time, dude. That shit's over with. For the one has arrived. You guys just ain't seen him yet. He's coming, though. He's coming. Hope y'all are ready for it. I think that... No. Like that guy from that one movie. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good night. May the Lord bless you. I hope you guys... I understand that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, or especially in our country, but try to turn to each other for wisdom and advice. Try to comfort one another in these dark times. Try to get clarification and clarity by just thinking for yourself and, you know, just keep your head up. Keep your keep the hopes up. It's hard for me to encourage like that because it's just, I don't know. The words. Just try to be there for one another and get through this right now. Like we got to. Stop picking a side. Pick yourself and see the truth. We can come together and make things work. I mean, but you guys don't want to. And then we can deal with all that extra good shit. I don't know. But anywho, I will catch you guys on the next one. You guys have fun.
I'm right in front of you.
I will finish this later. I'm burnt out from watching this. Chaos clouds the judgment and clouds the mind. It wreaks havoc. And I don't like being upset. Bad things happen when I get disgruntled in my brain. But we'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy your day.